Hello and happy 4th of July, everybody. It's me, your newly monetized Prophet of the Dragon. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. I'm already being a little bit taken aback. I've already got a few super chats, so we'll go over those here quick in a second. But thank you all for being here. It's really been an honor to get to know a lot of you guys and just be a part of this. It's been so freaking cool. And again, I'm blessed to have two awesome guests. One you might not know, and one I'm sure you do. We got Salty Texas C here, my friend. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man. Of course. You were there for me in the beginning when I got monetized. So I'm here for you now too.
I appreciate it, man. I'll always be there for you. I hope. And we have Mr. White Cloak, one of the White Cloaks, not Mr. White Cloak. We have Pips here from the White Cloaks YouTube channel and Reddit, and I guess the Band of the Red Hand Discord, which is weird now. But how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, just a real honor to be invited to come on. This has been watching your stuff for a long time, and you've been nice enough to collaborate with us a couple of times, and hopefully more going forward. So really happy to just celebrate you getting this milestone, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate both of you being here. It seems we're probably gonna take a go because I had no plan, as everybody can tell.
It's true.
But that's
Let's
my
do it
style,
live.
right? That's my style, right? So since we got Pips,
Yeah.
Pips was good enough to come on. We're probably gonna lean into the Wheel of Time a little bit, but that's okay. We have some cringeworthy material to go over. Something we'll get started with that in a second, but I would be remiss not to start off because I have already 4 super chats, which what the hell are you guys doing? But thank you very much. The lovely and unfortunately ill Purple Valkyrie sent me this super chat. Congratulations on smashing 1K and getting monetized. Well deserved and very proud of you. Thank you so much, Purple. I am sorry that you're feeling under the weather. It was great fun being on your live stream this morning. I hope we could do it again, either here or there. It was great. I actually have something. I thought about you. I know there was something from that live stream that was sticking in my head. I thought about you. I found it. So we're gonna look at that before we get into Cringe Fest 2022. Okay, I'm telling you, Cringe Fest 2002. I got it here for you. Then next we have the Thad that shouldn't be. Thank you, sir. Show Steve the money. Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it already. I'm already Jesus. I shouldn't say. Gosh, you guys need to. I'm all so, and then also
Stop apologizing.
You guys
Stop
are going to
apologizing.
because
Stop apologizing.
I need
Hey, act like you've been here before, man. Act like you've been here
Come
before.
on, you know it. Come on,
Steve, how many hours have you spent making content? Then you wondered if anybody was even going to watch it. And you've done it for me. You have done things for me involving, like when we were talking about the White Cloaks on Reddit. So this isn't charity, brother. People respect the work that you do, and they're happy for your success. So please stop apologizing.
I will stop. I'm sorry. I just I need a Zax. We'll just leave it at there. I need a Zax. So if I miss something or get a little slow to it, I will get to it. I got hopefully Pips and Salty will help me not miss any super chats and eventually get to you guys in the chat because you guys are why we're here, right? So, and then of course we have Salty, Mr. Salty Texas C himself. Congratulations, Steve. Hail, my dude. Thank you for your authentic takes, creative energy, and friendship for these many months. Wheel of Time Season 2 awaits. Nothing but respect and love. Cheers. Cheers to you, my brother. I appreciate it very much. We have Mr. Nerdporeal Lifeform, who I will be back on Mondays. Better Call Saul, my boy. Yeah. My Better Call Saul co-host is on fire. Well, thank you, sir. I miss you. I was glad we got to talk about Stranger Things. I can't wait to talk Better Call Saul with you. Which, hey, by the way, real quick segue here for that. Just it'd be good to let me share this real quick because I thought this was cool. We were talking about it, me and Salty were, but a certain Metallica song.
Oh yeah,
has hit number 1 on iTunes because of Stranger Things. I thought that was pretty cool. So of course, I don't. Master of Puppets shouldn't need Stranger Things to be number one. But you guys listen to. I'm sure. I hope you're Metallica fans. What do you think, Salty?
Oh, dude, totally no. And what I was going to say is it wasn't just Metallica's Master of Puppets. It was also Kate Bush's. I believe it came out in 80 or 82. Oh, God. Running Up That Hill.
Yeah.
You know, and talk about it's an eclectic, artsy alt rock from, not everybody knows Kate Bush. People my age know Kate Bush, but the fact that everybody was responding to that song, I think it tells you something about how well received season 4 really was,
I think I can only throw in that as somebody who just barely by a nose can count as somebody who was born in the 80s. I think the show throughout all of its seasons has done a pretty good job of bringing back some really classics in terms of just pop culture stuff, music, games, really led to a resurgence of a lot of really great stuff that some people had forgot or some people had never even encountered before. So it's cool to see.
Yeah. So I grew up listening to Metallica, so it was one of those things that was love to see it in the show, and then seeing that obviously it's getting some more love. Always cool to see some Metallica. Well, I guess old school Metallica love. I don't know what they're doing these days, but
by the way, I don't think I've seen the last. They released the last 2 episodes July 1st, so I haven't seen them yet. I'm watching them with my wife. I'm watching them with my wife, and she hasn't wanted to watch them yet. So
get her on it, man. It's
watch
worth
them.
It. It's worth
watch
it. They're good. It does it. They do a great job.
We binged all the way up until they stopped releasing, and now I'm kind of on her time, and you guys, you know how that works.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I was there. At one point, I was there.
It does what it's told.
Yeah. It does what it's told. Yeah.
Steve, can I call out a couple of people in the chat real quick?
Please do.
I want to say, hey, Rosie Gamgees is here. We also have the one and only Jaden Hamilton, OBG70 Mike. Cool dude. If you haven't subscribed to Mike OBG70, check him out. Then, of course, the Thad that shouldn't be, the one and only Punk Waddle, Wakazashi's Tea House, the Questioners. Who else do we have? I think I've hit everybody. We got a lot of people in the show, but I just wanted to shout it out before you moved on to some of the other super chats.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be your Zax tonight a little bit.
I need somebody to, or I'm going to drown. So thank you all for coming. Salty is being my voice, and thanking you guys for being here. But thank you all for being here. Nerdporial, I took you up on that. I added you as a wrench, so you got my back, my friend, as always. So, but let's keep going through these super chats. So we got Drunk Waddle, Punk Waddle, Drunk Waddle's evil twin brother here. Good to see you, Punk Waddle. We are doing it live. Congrats. Thank you, Punk Waddle, very much. As you know, my son is ready for another Floral and Punk Waddle show. He's got to get his shank. What was it? Shank. Man, I lost. Shank crate.
Shank
there
crate.
It is. Shank crate. He's ready. You guys got to get that on your store. He's ready for it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And also, like I said, we need the skank crate.
Oh
too.
Man.
Not just the shank, but the skank too.
That was a little lowbrow, but I'll let you get away with it. Sorry.
Hey, I'll put some venture capital in that. It's gonna blow up, guys.
It probably would. Yeah, I mean, OnlyFans is a thing, right? So
sex sells.
Yeah,
it's true. It'll be perfect.
Codenomics, welcome,
Hail,
sir.
dude.
Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Insert witty comment here. I am not that funny. Anybody got a witty comment for Codenomics?
I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. How's that? Does that sound like about $5 worth?
Sounds pretty good.
You a fan of Dr. Demento?
Yes, I am.
Because I have that. I think that's on my Dr. Demento Greatest Hits album.
Dude, you got to go with the classics. You know what I mean? Dr. Demento is like the Plato of surrealistic 70s nerd humor, as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah.
You know what, Nerdporial? You know what? I'll send you a link if you want. I know you. Yeah, you know what? Why not?
I'll kick it.
You got it.
I'll kick it. You run your show.
I'm trying. I'm not doing very well.
I think we said we were going to move on to something, and we.
Well, I just want to get through these super chats before I miss them, because I definitely don't want to miss them. So it's one of those. We're getting to the last one. Wakazashi's Tea House, Mr. Gray. I appreciate you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure doing everything that we've done together. Great man. Omideto, Steve. You're talking to the guy that can't pronounce anything. So Omideto, Steve. Great to meet you, mate. All the best to your rising future. Best to the panel and chat. Thank you very much, Gray. I look forward to speaking to you again. We did Stranger Things together, which was awesome. It's always a pleasure to do anything with you, sir. So thank you very much for being here. And for the $5, well, 500 yen super chat. I don't know how much that is. Probably, I guess $5. I don't know.
It sounds like a lot, though, right?
It does. It sounds great. 500.
Nerdporial, you have the link. Oh, he does.
He's here. The Admiral is here. Hello, sir. How are you, Mr. Admiral?
Good. Congratulations, Steve.
I thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on and wrenching for me too. I'm drowning.
Well, I feel unlimited power.
I don't know about that either, but but I did real quick because we were talking about it. I did want to real quick before we got on to Cringe Fest. I think Nerdporial, you can appreciate Cringe Fest too, but even though it is Wheel of Time based, but I did want to just touch on because we were on Purple Valkyrie this morning. Me and Salty were. We were talking about some Rings of Power stuff, and one of the things we ended up going over was what was dialect. It was the dialect coach, right? Is that what it was? The dialect coach on Rings of Power, and
linguist. It was the linguist teaching them to speak Quenya, other Elvish dialects, as well as Dwarvish. And of course, while she was doing it, she's doing it like this, so you couldn't actually see how to make the words with her mouth.
So mask on, teaching people how to do dialect, and then to sum up that article was basically, they're gonna do Tolkien's dialect better than them, right? So it was one of those. I knew in the back of my head. Because whenever at least for me, because obviously I'm a Wheel of Time fan, whenever I think Wheel of Time or whenever I hear something Rings of Power, especially with this crappy advertising they're doing, I think about if there's a parallel to something they did with the Wheel of Time. With Wheel of Time. Yeah. So I knew I heard the dialect thing, and it got stuck in the back of my. I'm like, I know I saw something, and then here. So I found it. So it's the Wheel of Time dialect coach says show invented new sign language. So anybody that knows the Wheel of Time probably knows what that is about. But Pips, what do you think about them inventing sign language for the show here?
I mean, we talked about it a little bit before going live, right? I think that the whole concept of the Wheel of Time is that like everything that's happened has happened before, happens again. It's very much like this is, real life is supposed to be part of the wheel, right? So them inventing sign language, I think that it would have been within the scope of the lore in the world to just use regular sign language, and would have probably been cool for people who use sign language as their primary communication method. So it's a little weird that they tried to invent their own.
What's up with the sexbot stuff today? Because last night that was all Unbearable 73 was talking about. There's like some weird harmonic convergence.
I guess we're I don't know. I guess we're just focused on that evolution of mechanics. I guess we're all in need. I don't know, but I don't know. What do you think, Salty? You think what do you think about this topic?
I agree with Pips. I think there would have been some real value in coming up with like a pigeon version. You know what I mean? Where you can have some recognizable things, and maybe the big ones like love, hate, fear, but some other things could have been kind of loopy. But it would have been, to me, I think it would have been wonderful Easter eggs to people who can speak ALS, and also hit some of their intersectional, ESG score driven stuff organically.
Real whiff on that department for sure.
Well, add it to the list. Amazon isn't exactly lighting it up. And God help us. What kind of marketing campaign are they going to have for season 2? If this is what they're doing for the Rings of Power, I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, literally, I don't know.
You can be a channeler too, and then get on the same bus and go to the same. Sorry. They're just going to recycle it again.
But we talked about it about 4 months ago. I think it's been a long time. It's been a lot of streams since then, but they're creating a brand new Aes Sedai that was only mentioned, I believe, it was the last paragraph of the last book that Brandon Sanderson wrote. And it was actually an insert of a fan of Robert Jordan's work, and Brandon Sanderson put the name in there because it was this female fan's name. Well, of course, Rafe Judkins, being the intellectual genius and creative force that he is, had to latch on to that. So,
yeah, well,
yeah, I think it was what Egwene was talking to a brown sister doing her politicking in the tower, and she drops a quote. She drops a quote by this person.
That's
and then in her own thoughts, she mentions the name. So it's not actually even a name that's said aloud.
Yeah.
It's said only in Egwene's thoughts.
Yeah.
So they're literally saying the quiet part out loud with what they're doing with the show.
I really hope we get some type of interesting pronoun representation for the character who didn't really exist, who wasn't actually in dialogue. And I hope that character takes 80% of the season, so we don't actually look at Rand's story.
She's going to be in the she's going to be in the thruple. I mean, right? She's going to be in the thruple with, I guess it'll be a quintuple.
Right? I was going to say, why isn't it an octuple? You know, what?
Well, I guess by the time they get to her, it might be, because you got the two warders. You're going to have Alana. You're going to have Galwyn.
Yeah.
You know,
Perrin might everybody stacked up.
I was going to say Perrin is
12
definitely
feet high,
like,
12 bodies, all just humping together, because. Guess that's what Amazon wants to do.
Remember that South Park episode about back to the pile? Everybody back to the pile.
Yes, I do.
I wish I had a clip. That would have been a perfect segue to that. But it's one of those. It's I just think that's more focus on the wrong things. It's one of those. We talked about. I actually talked about it with the questioners. He's going to have a video coming out about it, just on some of the locations. They're spending all this time gallivanting all over the world, going to locations and making sure that, hey, this castle might be good for this one shot. So let's stay here and we'll take the shot, and then we'll go on vacation for 5 days, and then we'll go to the next exotic location and shoot something.
Spend that budget.
Yeah. So right. So it's one of those. Whereas if you just get a studio and build some of these sets, you save a lot of money. You don't have to go all over the place. And, if you follow the Lord of the Rings way, you go to New Zealand and just tape all, you can find this stuff, right? So they're focused on all the wrong things. You got a dialect coach spending all this time creating a new sign language because she can, not because it's needed. I mean, the maidens could do this and say go kill that person, and they're like, all right.
Steve, check private chat just real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So
if I can even find it,
you might want to do that. So
okay,
but I agree.
How, sir?
Okay, I don't know. Maybe Nerdporial knows how to do this on.
Check the private chat.
All right, guys, are we calling tech support while we're live?
I think we are. Oh, well, here we'll read out some super chats then.
There you go.
Well, Nerdporial's bailing me out, being my wrench. Thank you, sir.
Trip figured out how to do a super chat.
Yeah, Trip. I didn't miss any while I was floundering, did I? Thanks for looking out, Salty, though. I appreciate that. Love you, Prophet. Great job. And hiya, Pips.
She's been a repeat guest on White Cloaks. She's a really, really good person. So hey, cool. Trip.
Thank you very much, Trip, for the $5. And Nico Glock is here. Hello,
Nico. One of my channel Taverin, a great guy to have fun with. Got to hang out with him in Dallas. He cosplayed Mike Crotch, which is, of course, is a very flamboyantly
your crotch.
Mike Crotch from Snowdub's show, The Cotton Connection. So he's a great guy, a lot of fun. Let me drink some really nice scotch and made a live show. Very interesting. So hail to you, Nico.
Yeah, I was
anybody who drinks good scotch is a good person to have around.
I agree.
Yes, so Nico Glock, $25. Thank you very, very much, sir. Congratulations, Steve. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, Nico. I wish I was at Dallas to be in the madness.
Thruple. In the thruple.
The thruple? The So do we figure out this thing? Zax is here. Maybe he knows how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually hitting Nerdpoil. There's a lot of stuff going on, you guys.
Well,
This is a really interesting show. We're trying to resolve a technical issue without letting you know what's happening. So
look, guys,
we're gonna keep rolling though. So.
Did I promise you winging it and no plan?
Yeah,
I deliver. Okay,
this is more like chicken tenders, not winging. You know what I mean? But
okay, chicken tendering it.
We're
that's
chicken
fine with me.
tendering.
That's what I'm all about. I like the tenders. I'm good with the tendies.
So Nerdpoil says just click the chat to show it and have it roll on the screen. So apparently that's how you do it.
Click show.
That's it.
Where am I doing this now?
From the comments. Just click on the comments.
Okay.
Then,
can you have the whole roll like continually flow on the screen, or that you got to pay for that? I guess with this app, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I have the version that I paid for.
Sorry. I Restream. I have the premium one so that you can always have the chat on screen. That's why I brought it up. So I just thought I was trying to help you out, but I just made things complicated. So ignore me. Sorry.
I don't know. I just lost all the chats though. So.
Oh wow.
Hey.
Okay.
So it's okay. I got all the supers right. So I hope I did.
Let's see. No supers from the last one that you read. I think you're good there.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So all right. So I'll figure that out for next time, I guess.
Be fine.
All right, fights on. Let's go.
All right. So
I can. There's a couple people in chat I want to call out. Zax is here. He says, "Hail panel in chat. Congratulations to a top 5 ginger." Your hair looks really red tonight.
Is that like top 5 most ginger or of gingers top 5 quality? Like what do we?
It depends how much you're paying for. It depends what you expect.
It depends on the super chat, right? I guess.
Yeah. What
Jaden.
else do we have? I think Rosie Gamgee says she prefers Irish whiskeys to Scotch. She doesn't like something too peaty or smoky. Well, I'll drink all the smoky, peaty Scotch.
I was drinking Redbreast yesterday on our channel, so very nice. Irish whiskey, I can get behind it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Sorry, I'm looking at something. Okay.
And Rosie, if you have recommendations beyond Redbreast, feel free to shout them out.
All right, so man, I am totally off my game here. So all right, well let's just move on to the next thing. So let's go to Cringe Fest here. We'll start with Cringe Fest, and then I'm going to try and get a little better about sharing some of the chats, even though I lost all of them. What's up, Aldan? Thank you so much for coming, Aldan.
Hail,
always
Aldan.
here, my man. Yeah. So yes, Zach, StreamYards. I know you are the guru. So if you want to save me, you can pop in if you want. Why not? If you're available,
I'll send him the link. I'll also ask him for some tech support. So you guys just have a show. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, I figure here. Let's go ahead and go to Pips will know what I'm talking about here. We're gonna go to Cringe Fest 2022.
Yeah, you made my soul hurt yesterday, so I might as well do this live for other people to watch.
So we're gonna let me make sure this is muted. All right. So this is Wheel of Time Con. Okay.
It is a con.
It is a con. It is now. I'm not going to go. I'm not even going to. We're just going to take a look at some of their panels and stuff. I am not going to blast any creators. All I'm going to say is this is a Wheel of Time con made by YouTube creators for I don't know who. For I guess I don't know. They say it's for all fans, but I don't. What do you think, Pips? I don't think it's for all fans. I don't know who it's for.
I mean, we talked about this. I think that, like, man, if I had $150 and nothing better to do with my time, and I happen to be in the area, man, I would absolutely go to this. So from that sense, yeah, it's for all fans. But I have a feeling that I would get kicked out like Ricky Bobby from an Applebee's. So,
well, they're also enforcing very strict pokey requirements and
well, I wish I had the I wish I had the meme that they used, but it's basically somebody shooting
govern me harder, daddy.
Yeah, there you go.
Govern me,
and of course you have to wear masks for everything but eating, talking, hugging, kissing, and being on stage together, but you have to have your mask on for everything.
Photography. So. When you cuddle up next to people for pictures.
So
COVID doesn't transfer if there's a lens pointed at you. Everybody knows this.
But
Pip, listen to this white supremacy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's true. But
hey, I recognize one of the guests right here. I recognize Daniel Green.
Oh yes.
I said I wasn't gonna do that, man. You got it. Of course, they're pouring in the back. So I'm not gonna blast any creators. Daniel Green's there, of course, but for YouTube creators, by YouTube creators. Basically, it should be ShillCon 2022 or CringeCon, whichever you want to call it. But I'm not gonna attack any of those people. To each his own, I guess. I don't know. But Jaden's asking Pips. I see, or a statement for Pips. I see your Wheel of Time books. It makes me happy to see those books, as I love those books, and those books will forever be treasured and amazing and really good and life-changing.
Yeah, this is actually a fairly recent acquisition because I had all the electronic and the audio books, and I tried to go back home and collect my old books, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, we donated all that stuff." And so, which fair. I mean, if you're gone for 15 years, you can't really expect all your stuff to be back home. But I did hunt around like a mad person, trying to find as many first edition, first printings as possible. Yeah. And so this is the last month's labor.
Yeah. Mine are all right behind me at the top shelf. Those are they're always in every one of my shots. And then the Tolkien stuff is on the shelf below the action figures.
Yeah, which one of those that I got, actually, I don't know if this is interesting to anybody else. You know the map that's on the inside of the bindings on most of the Wheel of Times after I think book 2, right? So one of mine, the front cover, the map is upside down.
Oh, interesting.
So that binding sheet that they put into it, they put the map upside down, which I think is pretty cool.
Money. Errors, right?
I just made a joke about it. So one of my what I do in real life, I do a lot of working around maps. And step one of talking about a map is you always have to, north is to the top, and this is what we're talking about. Yeah. And it's always been a running gag of having north to the bottom or north to the left or something like that. So I love it.
I guess it has more meaning for you if you're working with that all day long, right? So my books are hiding back there. You guys all have me thinking about my setup here. I may have to do some redecorating, but
but you got swords in the background. I need to put a sword behind me. I have a couple lying around.
They're way back there. But I got Nico Glock again here. Another $5.
And Pappy is not just bourbon; it's good bourbon. But
to be fair, Pappy is bourbon. So there you go. So,
hey, I'm drinking bourbon right now, so I'm not going to knock bourbon. Sorry, I apple juice.
Yeah, apple. It's okay. It's okay. It's bourbon. It's fine. And then we got Punk Waddle here real quick. $5.
Nobody carded me coming in here.
This is for Talladega Nights and Anchorman quotes I've been hearing lately. Keep it up. Yeah, 2 classics. I actually just watched Anchorman the other day. It's sort of weird how those things come back around on you. Yeah, this is so good. So,
and Jaden Hamilton says Al Dan is an ancestor of Alan Mandragon.
I just saw that, didn't I? There it is.
It's right there.
I just found out you're an ancestor of Alan Mandragorian, so that is a good ancestor to be. I wish. Yeah, I wish I was related to Lan. Not Showland, Bookland. I can't. My nipples can't take the other land.
You're saying you're one of those guys that kind of tapes up before a run.
Yeah, I can't.
Sensitive.
Wow.
Strict workout. Yeah, can't take it. But yeah, Al Dan for $10. Thank you very much, sir.
Nice.
You're always here for me, my friend. I got to get you on. Got to get you on here for when we do some in-depth Wheel of Time stuff. It'd be great to get your opinion on some of this stuff, my man. But congrats on the monetization profit. All hail the freaking dragon. That is right, sir. Hail the dragon. Thank you very much. You guys are overwhelming me here. Thank you so much. I'm a little speechless, but we'll keep going on. So let's see. We got Wheel of Time Con, Cringe Con 2022. We're going. Let's
Well,
at some of the
can we
programming.
go back to what you were just talking about with the cost of admission for this? So this
Where I
was
can
this
find
was
that. Hold on, let me.
well, I
Do
mean,
you want to be
so
offended?
no, I just want to point out the obvious, really, which is that they did a GoFundMe for this.
Yes, $26,000, right?
Somebody got $26,000 to start to set this up, and now they're charging $150 for admission, but only if you are the good person and fully shot up and wearing your compliance headgear. And how many days? But let me get to this. How many days is it? Is it 2 days? Is it 3 days? Is it 1 day? Because I thought it was 2 days. This conference for $150. And I can tell you, having gone to the Dallas Fan Expo, I got the VIP deal for 3 days, 2.5 days. It was only $125.
So yeah, I can bring it up here, but here's the GoFundMe. So it's $26,000 they've raised for this con. Now, to be fair, I'm going to try and be as fair as I can. Kate Redding and Michael Kramer are there, so I would, I would assume some money's going to them. I doubt they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. I don't know how much they charge, but I don't know that any of this money is going to that, especially considering the fees. Let me see if I can find it, but you got to pay the entrance fee, which is $150 just to get in. Then on top of that, you still have to pay for your hotel room. So hotel room isn't comp, so you got to get your hotel room. Then you have VIP passes, which who knows what you get for VIP passes? It's not very specific.
Dinner that they said they offered.
Is that what it is?
I guess you can take your mask off in between bites, huh? That sounds like a blast. That sounds like a blast.
You take some pictures with Daniel Green.
Yeah, well, behind with plexiglass.
Will you be offering a life? So this is okay. Here we go. So will you be offering a lifetime membership? So if you want a lifetime membership, they're planning on having, I guess, this year after year. So they plan on this being a hit. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more here, real quick, because it's a little bit hard to see. So because these are the things that I find staggering, because this isn't like a
$800.
So
for
if you
lifetime membership, lifetime
VIP is $1,675. And I'm glad, I'm salty. Thank you for having us look at this first, because we're going to look at their program list, and maybe we might just do it a little better than they do. I don't know. We'll see how far into this we get, but we're going to look at the program that they're going to be running at this thing. And I want to remind you, this is not, as far as I know, no actors. The biggest name on the ticket is Daniel Green. None of the actors.
Well, you do have the voice, but you do have the voice actors from the audiobook.
Which, to be honest, I think almost any fan would be pretty happy to go and meet with them. Yeah. I mean, they're the only ones that I'd be like, maybe I'd actually be interested.
Yeah, that would be the only reason I would even think of but not for 150. So $150 for standard. I'll wait outside for them and try and get their autograph.
It's called stalking. Just gonna say,
okay.
But I'm maybe just the way I do it.
He's not encouraging anyone else to do that. He's not inciting stalking.
No, no, I'm not. And then the VIP membership, which I'm assuming you probably still have to pay for your dinner, gets you access to a dinner on the main show floor. What do we think?
They need to sell this VIP membership a little bit harder. I mean, you got to get something like what do you get for double the price of standard admission? Guys?
Profit. Show them the badges. I bet you get a bag.
I gotta find those. But oh man, was that on this? Okay, I don't know if that was on was that on Twitter or was this on this page? I'll see if I can find them.
I think it might have been on Twitter.
But then the other thing that drives me crazy is then you got this, which is if you can't go. Now I don't know if this is standard for cons, because I don't do much cons, but no refunds. No refunds. So if you can't go and you say, "Hey, my aunt died, I can't attend," well, too bad. You're at $150 or $330.
I just like the lifetime memberships that we're talking about. So you'd have to go 6 years for that lifetime membership to actually pay out. And do we honestly think that that this by the time we finish going through all that they're offering, let's revisit the question of whether or not we think this thing's going to be going on 6 years from now.
Here, give me a sec. I'm going to see if I can find these badges. Oh, you're looking for it? Just go with Wheel of Time Con. Just the Twitter. You'll find it. It's right there. I'll look through it.
I got a hashtag.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, wow. This is precious. Wow.
Let's see.
It's worth the VIP, right?
Oh my!
Do you see it? Do you see it? Oh, he found it. He's found it.
No, I found a bunch of other cringeworthy stuff. Oh my God!
You can I share your screen and you can scroll
through
it?
just. I mean, like, God bless these people. I get it. I love Robert Jordan's world. I do. What do we? It's just. Oh God! No, I'm looking for the badges right now, but
I think they're there. Did you find them? They're there somewhere. Let me see if
I'm working on it, Chief.
I got you. I'll go back to this then. I should have thought about it before, just because the
rest of us are really enjoying watching Salty's reaction, though. By the way,
well, you want to know the craziest thing about the badges is I know exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to replicate the Stormlight Archive coins. Like they're trying. I don't know if anybody did any of collects any Stormlight Archive memorabilia or anything, but they have these cool little coins and patches. Just cool little for the orders, and they're pretty cool looking things, and that's the feel I got from those. But I hope we can find a picture because I want your guys' opinions of what they look like.
Take my screen. We'll start out with this is the big marketing message that you get.
Thank you for having that on your screen.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was looking for.
That's what we needed.
No. This is literally multiple times. This is what they want you to take away from the con.
Yeah.
You guys are dicks. Can I just say that? So yeah, I mean, we've got this. Again, it's there multiple times. Here, of course, are the seminars.
Yeah, well, I got those. We're gonna look at those. I got those on the list.
I'm still looking, dude. I am still looking.
As you're scrolling down some of these, are you seeing the likes and shares on some of these things that are posted?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Oh man, I gotta remember
the Daniel Green ones that I saw there were the only ones that had any traffic.
VIP memberships. They still don't articulate what they are. I can't find anything. This just looks like a pass. I mean, is that the pass? But
no, they're not like badge. They're like little the badges he's talking about. They're little circle things. They're like memorabilia.
Oh yeah.
What does that send us your vids thing?
Oh, people have that. That's what I was cringing at.
Send us your vids.
Wait.
Can we still send in videos?
Costume night. Saturday night is costume night.
$30. I can watch it virtually. What do you think, guys?
I think we got a live stream.
Well, I would live stream. I'm not paying for it though. Yeah, I'll do it. But hold on. Here is this what?
There it is. There it is. That's what we're talking about.
I thought you were kidding me. I was like, this is dumb. Look at they can't even paint them right.
Well, Pips? What does that look like to you? Like, what do those look like to you? Because I know what they look like to me.
It looks like a signet ring, like a wax seal, but I'm not sure why it would be gold like that.
Yeah,
that's not how a wax seal impression would work.
Yeah,
because it looks like they smashed a bunch of crayons and then painted the symbols.
That's what I thought too. It looks like
melted. What flavors of crayons are we talking about, though?
Melted plastic, melted crayons. I mean, this is something where you put it in your pocket, it breaks into 10,000 pieces.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It looks cheap. It looks
so looking at this, two of those are the same ones, just in different colors.
You're a bigot. You're an istophobe. This wasn't made for you, Pips. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know,
that's true. Horses.
That's what they're going to say to us, guys.
With wax seals.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh! So I wonder. So what? I'm trying to see if there's anybody. Let's try and pull something out of the chat here. So, man, because I'm distracted. But what do you guys think? So you guys think these look cheap too? Yeah, because I think they look terrible.
Man, terrible. I'm looking to collect them all. I don't know what you guys are talking about. These are S tier. I need every single one.
Man, it's one of those. It's just like if I paid extra and like I got a little bag and it had a little crayon smashed with a gold thing on it, I'd be like, okay, this dinner better be really, really, really good. This better be an extremely good dinner. So,
nah, man, it's gonna be dry overcooked steak.
You're expecting steak. I don't. It's gonna be like it's gonna be a hamburger patty.
As soon as I said steak, I'm like, never mind. It's gonna be vegan friendly, obviously.
You're gonna eat that Beyond Beef bug stuff, and you're gonna like it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's gonna be a cricket burger.
Can I just show you something? So,
Please.
how much do you think these things probably cost to make? I mean, other than
$2.
2 cents, you know.
$2 for the box of crayons.
Let me show you what a small time YouTuber can get for under $1.
There you go.
Get buttons made like
there
this.
You go.
There it is.
And I gave these away in Dallas. It's not a self promotion, but I'm just saying if you want to have things that people want to get and collect, it's not this, you know. And I understand wanting to have something that looks like it's from Robert Jordan's world. This doesn't. This looks like it's from the dollar store. You know, it really does.
It really does, doesn't it? It looks like all I could think is it looks so cheap.
Okay, question for the panel then. On a scale of what looks like it's part of Robert Jordan's world, someone offers you these, or they offer you the Aes Sedai ring pops.
Ooh,
which one?
Like one of the rings from the show?
Yes.
Oh man, so I could get a replica ring from the show or one of these.
Yeah, you can get a replica ring pop.
Can I phone a friend? I don't want those. I guess I'd have to get one of these. At least one of these has a dragon on it. I'd rather get a salty Texas Sea pin. That's what I want.
Obviously, thank you. But I mean the
on.
other thing too is, are they going to have vendors at this show selling swords, selling banners, Wheel of Time T-shirts? And when I say Wheel of Time, I'm not talking about the trash that's on Amazon. I'm talking
Wheel
about
of Prime. You're not talking about Wheel of Prime.
No, I'm not. But I can get off this. I didn't know that this is what the hell you meant, dude.
That is what it's terrible. So I took it. I wasn't sure if there was another thing on there you wanted to but that Twitter thread is just full of cringe. It's ridiculous. But thanks for coming, Nick McCabe. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for showing up. It's always good to see you, sir. And then, of course, we had one more super chat from Nico Glock here. At Salty, your lack of dark mode disturbs me. Dark mode on Twitter, I think is what he was referring to, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right. You heard it here first. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't notice. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but whatever.
This is my 4th live stream in 24 hours. Give a brother a break. Jesus. Hi, Nico. I love you. Yeah.
James, how about if I got an Aes Sedai ring, an actual ring from the books? I'm sure males wore it back in the Second Age too, right? That's not the rules. You have to get the crappy one from the show, sir. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
It's one of the. You got to follow the rules.
If you wear the old one, you're a bigot. I think that's what Salty was explaining before, right?
I like that. The Wheel of Crime. That's a good one too. So, yeah. So, I'm looking forward to my son. Jaden said, I guess Nick, you're reading the Great Hunt as well right now. My son is about halfway through it, so I'm reading it again because he's reading it again. So, I'm looking forward to that conversation. So we're going to do another, hopefully with you, sir, Mr. Salty, because I know we're talking about that. So looking forward to that when he's on vacation now. So he'll be back mid-month. So hopefully he'll be done by then. We can figure something out because that'll be a fun chat, I think.
And this is another person who, because of videos that I and other people made, and being annoyed by the Amazon TV show, Nick McCabe picked up The Wheel of Time for the first time. He's now on book 2, The Great Hunt. And this is part of why we did what we did. You know, now, I didn't rage farm. I was simply venting my frustration as someone who wasn't even anywhere near being monetized. I was at 300 subscribers and about to give up YouTube, until I started talking about something that really mattered to me. And I thought everybody was saying the same thing because it was a dog shit show. It was horrible. How could you possibly pretend that this is Robert Jordan? And little did I know, there weren't a lot of voices out there saying this isn't Robert Jordan. And But Nick McCabe was one of the people I met when I was starting out, and I've had him on my live show. And I remember when he started reading these books, and it's just great. It's great, and I hope that's what we do in this season as well.
Yeah.
And I hope this is what we as content creators, we also push people for the Rings of Prime, which is not Tolkien nor Lord of the Rings. We encourage them to actually read Tolkien.
Yeah,
So.
I love talking
sure,
to anybody
for sure.
that's just certain. That's why it's so fun to talk to my son about it, because it's just like, it's just new. I wish I was in that honeymoon phase again. I'm reading it again. It's like, okay, yes, love all this stuff.
Yeah, about book 6, you start going, I'm going to jump a little bit ahead.
Yeah. It's Crown of Swords.
You're gonna jump from book 6.
Crown of
I just
Swords.
started reading Crown of Swords.
Well,
in my
after
reread,
6,
so.
I think after Lords of Chaos, you hit peak awesomeness, and then Crown of Swords, there's a little bit of a lull there, but I'll talk Wheel of Time with anybody all day long, pretty much.
The Great Hunt is one of my favorite books, by the way.
So good.
I mean, anybody who gets to read that for the first time.
Well, so just real quick,
I'm technically on book 2. I read book 1 about a few years ago.
Yes. Dude,
book 2.
Awesome. Yeah, we were talking about it too, man. I can't wait for you to actually let me get Nick McCabe off your face there, buddy. Whoa, that sounded weird. Excuse me, sorry. Whoa. Oh my God.
Don't be a bigot. Don't be a bigot.
Hey, love is love, guys.
Yeah, well,
love is love. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to talk to you about it too, because it's fun. It's fun getting new takes about these books, and then like just hearing what people that are just getting into it think might happen, because that was always some of the funnest stuff about Wheel of Time, was just trying to figure out what was going to happen next, right? And then the books that were published. So, but
I want to reread Eye of the World, and then just so that I don't even want to just read the wiki, which is what I'm doing right now. I actually want to reread the book and get like some of the additional details that I could pick up on in the next book.
Totally should. Eye of the World is fantastic.
It is. Yeah, here we go. We got Gray from Wakazashi Tea House. You and the other fans got me to give the books another chance. I really enjoyed The Great Hunt. Book 3 is on my TBR pile. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it many times. The Eye of the World is a tentative book where Robert Jordan really didn't know what his voice was, to me. And you could see how heavily influenced he was by Tolkien, but you could also hear something else was there. And it really is in book 2 when he's like, oh my God, I'm actually a writer and people are going to buy my book. And he's just like, zoom, and it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And I mean, and that's when you really, all that time you spent with Rand and Matt in all of the taverns and pubs and, tromping in the mud, it pays off there because you've built this relationship, and it feels like those characters have earned the transformation they're about to experience.
I have a question. Why are there so many books? Is there like so many subplots that just get added every book? Is that why there's 14?
Read and find out.
Yeah, that's part of it. And there's also this thing called capitalism. I mean, they gave them a great contract. They did.
Look, man, I don't know. You always have the 3 main plot threads. You got the Perrin, you got the Rand, and then you got Matt.
Yeah.
So they split up. And then they generally split up at some point.
Some point, yeah. It comes and goes, and then you got the girls.
Yeah. Egwene, Nynaeve. At some points, you've got. Oh Jesus, I just blanked on.
Without giving any spoilers for somebody who hasn't read The Great Hunt and hasn't read most of it, one of Rand's side pieces gets a lot of action in terms of plot in like book 10.
Yes. Yeah.
But outside of that, it's mostly the plots of Rand, Matt, and Perrin, Egwene and Nynaeve. Like the people you meet in the Eye of the World are mostly who you follow throughout the series. And it adds some other characters, and you get a fair amount of point of view sort of characters that come in.
Yep.
But yeah.
But there are also a lot of characters that come in book 2. In some form or another, that play very pivotal roles as the books go on. They really do, And it's interesting because Perrin disappears as far as what's going on with his story for a good long time in the books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think, what is it? Yeah, I think it's I forget what I'm not gonna name what.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a big chunk. I think there's a whole book where Parent's not even in it, but I mean they start fleshing out like the main. You got the main three boys, but you basically got the main six. I mean, you got the three girls and the three boys, and you start getting a lot of their start exploring a lot of them, and they have a lot of growing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they know nothing, so it's more of a just they have a lot to get through, and I don't think he could have done it unless maybe get rid of Crossroads of Twilight and you can merge Path of Daggers and Crown of Swords maybe, but I don't know. You'll see when you start getting into it. I mean, the last three books that Sanderson wrote were supposed to be one. So there was enough left on the bone. He had to split it into three. So that just shows you how many notes he took after he passed away of stuff he needed to complete. So.
Let's be honest. He was never going to be able to manage to put those into one book either.
No way.
Robert Jordan, of all of his qualities, conciseness is not one of his qualities.
No.
I don't want to miss Nico's super chat here, but another $5, another $5 from Nico Clock here. I love you, Salty. I still owe you a get out of jail card.
Oh well, I hope I never need it, but I may take you up on it someday, Nico. You're welcome.
Oh man, Al Dan says it's because it's the greatest story ever told. Is why he could have written another 20 books for me. Laugh out loud.
I agree. It's just the lack of conciseness. There's a lot of purple prose in there, and I know that may get me the scorn of some people. That is my experience as a reader and someone who edits a lot. But that doesn't make them bad. It just means that it's a book that was written in the 90s, and I wouldn't change anything. It's just there are some chapters I kind of go, I'm going to move on.
No, there's some that drag. Anything Savannah, I skip. So
there are a lot of the prose is not as punchy, I think, as what you maybe are used to with like modern sort of fantasy writing. But that's not a bad thing. Like you said, it's in its time and place in terms of the fantasy genre. Yeah. And it's if anything you want to say about it, genre fiction often is criticized as suffering from sort of the problem of the empty room, and Jordan does not suffer from that problem.
No, I mean, it's a change from books 1 through 5, 1 through 6, arguably. And then to me, looking at it, it almost was like, he was like, wow, this is a lot, and it's almost like he didn't, I don't know. I'll save that conversation for another time. It's not bad. It's just that it's very differently paced fiction than the earlier works.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. So. I think it was done. Yeah, that's a good discussion to have another time. I need to reread them, but so that's another good discussion for another time. I do want to say another super chat from Nico. You can hide Salty's screen.
Oh, here, I'll hide it for you, Nico. There you go. So,
my gosh. And then I did want to say here, Rosie Gamgee.
I love you, Nico.
I know you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, so to give Wheel of Time a try, you should. I think you would enjoy it.
You can get this as an ebook.
Oh, I am so jealous.
Me too.
You can get this as an ebook in e-comic. Chuck Dixon, I talked about it this morning. I've talked about my shows many times. I'm just going to pull something up. It's a great way to ease into not committing to a very long book series,
Yeah.
So
I have the electronic ones. So jealous of your physical copies.
Me too.
I bought it before they went up, and I was talking about it this morning. This beat up reader version is $100 now, and anything from volume 2 on is $500 or $600.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I wish I could get them. I didn't even know, to be honest. Just like there's a video game and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that those things were even a thing, or I would have had them. So I'm just an uninformed rube, I guess. But whatever. I might still get them. I mean, they're beautiful. So I would love to. It's hard to find. Well, I shouldn't say hard. You got to do some digging to find some really nice Wheel of Time artwork, and the artwork in those is really spectacular. So I may have to make that investment. So.
Should be pointed out that Robert Jordan had a very strong hand on the tiller when it came to the artwork in those graphic novels as well.
Oh, I believe it. So
I mean, there's emails that got released with his estate and stuff like that show him like back and forth with the artists, and like nitpicking. I mean, like the face guard on armor and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I guess that brings up the how happy do we think he would be with how the show has cast and done his characters? Do you think he'd be thrilled?
If you could read some of those emails,
you're supposed to be defending this stuff. Good job.
If you could read some of those emails that he had with Chuck Dixon and just point that, just change the 2 line and send it to Amazon,
it's true, especially with the appearance of the Aes Sedai, the dresses of the Aes Sedai, the fact that Aes Sedai were never supposed to be in pants. Mike OBG70 did a very long form video on that when I first met him. Yeah. And he went in detail about that, about how he was driving Chuck Dixon crazy with this stuff. And the author knew what he wanted to do. Rafe Judkins knows that. And we have what we have now. So tell me again why I need to give Rafe Judkins any respect at all, because it's not an adaptation. They know how this should be adapted.
Yeah,
it's not. Well, that's why we don't actually give him his name. We over at White Cloaks, we call him Raginor because he's the corrupter, the defiler.
Yeah. I assume this question from Gray was for the panel. How old were you when you read the first few books? I think the age you are when you read can make a big difference.
Totally.
So go ahead, Salty. When did you?
I think I started in the late 20s and I didn't make it all the way through. And then I started them again. And then I finally made it all the way through. And I think that's about the right age for something this size as far as a fantasy series. I mean, I got to Tolkien very early. The Hobbit, I think I got around 10 or 11 or 12 because I saw the animated Hobbit when I was 7. And then, of course, like everybody else, you get into the easier to read fantasy, the Dragonlance Chronicles, the Belgariad, all those types of things, and the Sword of Shannara, Terry Brooks, the Dragon Riders of Pern, all those kind of things, Piers Anthony, but for me, what stopped me from going back to Robert Jordan until my later 20s was so many books. And then also I had friends who loved Robert Jordan, but they stopped at book 10 and were like, I just don't know if I want to read this anymore. And so that colored part of my decision. So that's as honest as I can be with that. And am I embarrassed a little bit? Yes. But, we all come to our fandoms in our own ways. So I'm not a scholar of Robert Jordan. I just love his story and his characters.
Yeah. No, I completely am with that. I mean, Pips, what about you before I go down my rabbit hole?
I think that I would have been 15, 16, like freshman, sophomore year of high school, I think is when I kind of remember. And I actually picked the books up from my older brother. So he would have been a couple years older than me. But yeah, I mean, my experience with fantasy prior to that was not super extensive. I think I had read The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. I actually read The Silmarillion as well. And then, the next big fantasy series that I remember going into was Wheel of Time with like sci-fi series. I think, some Orson Scott Card, stuff like that, I think mixed in around there. So yeah, I got it pretty young, I suppose, in terms of formative years.
Cool. I'd ask you, Nerporeal, but you're on the Great Hunt now, right? When did you read Eye of the World? Did you try when you were younger and you just couldn't do it, or?
I didn't even know Wheel of Time existed when I was younger. To be honest, I didn't know Wheel of Time existed until I read Song of Ice and Fire a few years ago. Especially when Game of Thrones was at the peak of its popularity, season 4. That's when I started reading them, and then I started looking up other fantasy series. Right. And a lot of people mentioned the Wheel of Time. So I got a Kindle and I just started reading a lot of books. Like Song of Ice and Fire was probably the first time. Now this was like right before I turned 30 in 2014. So this was like a rekindling of me reading, because I've never been a big reader. I read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings when I was in high school, because my church, I was my gateway into fantasy was from playing the Legend of Zelda games. I've mentioned this multiple times on different streams.
But that's a cool story. It's a cool story, really, dude.
Yeah, which is, I'm working on my Ocarina of Time retrospective right now. So, but besides that, but my church kept, my Sunday school teacher in particular kept talking about Lord of the Rings coming out. He was like super duper excited for Lord of the Rings to come out in the movies. And so this was like 99. So like I learned who was going to be in the movies. I didn't even know who half the characters were. I never even read The Hobbit. So one summer I was like, you know what? I want to read The Hobbit. I want to read Lord of the Rings. So I started reading those. And then when I was in the hospital, I read Sword of Shannara, or Sword of Shannara, excuse me. Sorry, Terry Brooks. I pronounced it wrong, jerk.
I always said Shannara.
I think everybody says Shannara.
Always.
Terry Brooks gets pissed off. He's like, it's Shannara, and
yeah,
it's
he
not
can kiss
like Lord
my
of the
ass.
Rings.
I bought his book.
Yeah.
I paid him his money. I can pronounce it however I want.
If I remember right, it was still Reagan's first term when I bought that book. So I was like, what, 13, 14 years old. So however I said it, just like, remember you guys, I would say Nynaeve and Nineveh and all those other things, because that's what's stuck in my head from reading these books alone.
I said Nynaeve. I pronounced the Nynaeve in my head.
Yeah.
Just like when I read Harry Potter, I pronounced Hermione's name Hermione. That's how I
get it.
Until the movie came out.
That's a first.
So the first 4 came out before the movie, or actually I read the first 4, and then the 4th book, the Russian, the Victor Crumb, couldn't pronounce her name right. She had to pronounce it for him. So that's how I found out how to properly pronounce it. And then of course then the movies came out, and then that's history.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
It's alive.
Exactly.
That's funny. So what? You tried to?
I appreciate your references,
dude. Anytime. Mel Brooks movies, I can roll.
Yeah,
man. I heard a rumor that there's a Spaceballs 2 that is bouncing around.
God. I don't know.
So
if that's a good idea.
I'm going to say there's no way it actually happens because Disney will not allow it to happen. But just what's your guys' take? If we could get a Spaceballs 2,
it can't be done without Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is like 95 years old. Who knows how much longer he's going to be with us?
He can still play yogurt. He can still play yogurt.
He needs to write it.
Yeah.
He needs to write it.
I could be convinced to support this if it was making fun of every single thing that Disney has done with Star Wars since
which it would be.
But I still feel Gondor has no Spaceballs 2. Gondor needs no Spaceballs 2.
Yeah, I just watched Spaceballs 1. I don't see it. Even Mel Brooks these days, I don't know that he's. I don't know. I just think it would become just meme fest and bad memes in that way.
Spaceballs 1 is really all you necessarily need.
Yeah, it's one of those.
And not with 10,000 pitches. Do you do this?
Oh my God! It's just like there's one Blade Runner movie, there's one Matrix movie, there's one.
I like 2049. I can't help it. I
don't like
thought the
you.
movie was fine.
I never worked. I never liked you, Nerdporial. I don't know.
Oh my God, we're devolving. We're devolving. So I hope that answered your question.
Sorry,
Gray.
I opened up a can of worms.
You're good.
Dude, I gotta give you shit, dude.
The panel is fighting.
You're allowed to like terrible movies that don't exist, but yes,
I like many, but I guess just to finish Gray's question, high school, my brother, I've told a few times, my brother basically twisted my arm and got me reading it, and then just went down the rabbit hole from there with theory crafting and all kinds of stuff like that. So just sort of grabbed me from the beginning, just because he was sort of pushing me along, sort of like what I'm doing with my kid. It's like reenacting it, only with a mini me a little bit. So there was something I wanted.
There were some cool comments in chat. If I just
I wanted to get Nico's super chat real quick, just so I didn't lose it. Not Hide Salty. Thank you, Nico, again for the $5. Not Hide Salty. We were still looking at the con schedule screen, so I got rid of that abomination, Nico. I am sorry for that. If we come back to it, I'll bring it back. We still haven't even
talked about that.
We'll get to it if we get to it.
We'll get to it. I do think we should get to it, and that's what I was trying to.
It is terrible.
We will, but which ones are you talking about? I wish I could just let you click on them. Which ones are you talking about?
Well, you can. I'll tell you how to do that after the show.
I did see Zach's comment about Robert Jordan being a blue-haired SJW somewhere left of Castro. I heard that's pretty accurate, but.
And that's why I wanted to bring that one up, to bounce you back to that convention schedule, because I'm probably going to head out in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
But I wanted to go over that because I know you wanted to go over some of those things and talk about the relevance of it. And I'd love to participate in the conversation. If you guys want to go a different direction, I can hang too. But I'm just,
Yeah, well,
micromanaging.
No. Which one are you talking about now?
So you wanted the convention schedule where
bring
you
it back
didn't
up.
want me to show it because you didn't show the good stuff.
No, I'm not. I have it
There's
right
some good
here.
stuff
So
in there, too.
I just
Yeah.
started. We just started. I hadn't got there yet. So here, because
I know,
we went into the terrible badges. So here, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. So let's see. Just tell me what. I'll keep reading them. So remember, this
There
is
we go.
day one. We got
Day one.
Day one. This is 3 days of cringe con. All right, here we go. So day one, opening stage ceremony, which is going to be terrible. I guarantee it. Wheel of Time relationships: the good, bad, and the ugly.
And I'm going to ask this question. Is this con about what Rafe Judkins put the title of Wheel of Time on, or is this con actually about Robert Jordan's books?
It says Jordan right there.
So
I have a suspicion. I have a suspicion.
Yeah. Examining
Wow.
what everyone knows is by far the strongest aspect of Jordan's writing: sarcasm.
See, look at that. Just the inclusion of sarcasm there tells you exactly what you need to know.
These guys are dicks. Why would you do that?
The relationship. Our panel dives into select groupings of characters from the book and show, highlighting what little works, what doesn't, and what is just a train. What little works. Do you see that shit?
So they're literally what's going to happen here.
Deconstructing.
What's going to happen here is the good is going to be the show and Rafe Judkins. The bad and the ugly is going to be Robert Jordan. That's how this panel is going to break down. And what's funny is that they said, hey, this is a convention for all fans, right? You don't have to be this type of fan or that type of fan. But let's be honest, if you're a fan of actual Robert Jordan, like the characterization of men and women's has actually been a strong point of the books within the fandom. I mean, there's discussion about strengths and weaknesses within it, but characterization of men and women and their like interactions between each other, the fact that they sort of need each other is actually a thing that I think Robert Jordan did really well. And the fandom has debated it for a long time, but I think mostly come on top with.
I agree. And the thing about this is this book wasn't written in the 1950s. This was started in 1991, which was the year that I started college.
Yeah.
And so, I was a young, very progressive leaning kid in college, and I went to a very psychotic, nearly communist-like college. It's a true story.
Name drop it for us. Where'd you go?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll put it like this. It was left of Evergreen.
You want to get invited back for the football games?
No, they went bankrupt because that's what intersectional feminism does to every organization. Spoiler alert.
I like the left of Evergreen, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm talking about. But where I'm going with all that is that, the world was a very different place in 1991. Now it wasn't, The Handmaid's Tale, but the way that Robert Jordan wrote this was in a way to subvert expectations. The women were the powerful ones, the respected ones within this world. They held the offices. They were the ones that, put fear into people. And, we all know the backstory of how and why and who was really responsible for the breaking of the world, in my opinion, in not helping another gender try to resolve a situation, so that somebody had to make a suicide call. You
mean Mirren for drilling the bore, or Latra for refusing to help?
Refusing to help. I mean, both, honestly, but I'd go for the refusing to help. And then this guy had to make the call. He had to be a man and make the call, and got burned in the process. And the victors always write the history, and the ones who are left standing, and in this case it was the female Aes Sedai.
The survivors write the history books, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm not ruining your plot if you haven't read the story, but that's what's so disturbing about this is they literally discard the context of when literature was written and what was going on in the world. And at the time, these was a very progressive set of books that came out within a fairly predictable male-dominated fantasy series. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Robert Jordan turning it on its head. The problem that I have and continue to have with this, with the Rings of Power, with Star Wars, with all of this shit that you can't even tell is what it was, is that they have literally inserted the exact same ideological, talking points and reference points in every piece of fantasy and science fiction that we have. And seeing it here, this is some attempt at trying to make an organic movement of people who support all that. It's not going to work. And if the only people you're inviting pass your medical purity test and also your opinion as a fan test, then this is not a fandom. This is simply being subsidized to prop up something that is being used as an ideological tool. But I'll stop talking now.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, congratulations, Steve.
Thanks, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Just some family stuff tonight, but I thought I would hop in here while I got some time and just congratulate you and talk about how Robert Jordan is a screaming SJW, according to Reddit.
What's crazy? I just thought about this right now. That's how we met. I mean, you sent me a few messages
That's right.
through Reddit, and
Dude.
we have not talked Wheel of Time at all, dude.
No, I know.
Like, how is that possible? Like, we haven't done it at all. We talked.
He's too busy watching Balu Bali and RRR.
He's not wrong.
Wheel of Time anymore.
I've dipped my toe into that, but I'm not going to go there. But yeah, man, I'm glad you came on, just because like I just realized that now. I'm like, that's how I met you. We haven't talked Wheel of Time at all. So, yeah, so thank you for coming on. I'm going to switch you to Nuporial because Nuporial is not a Wheel of Time veteran yet, sir. You got some work to do.
I need to. I just want to say good night to Prophet. Oh wait, good night, Jaden. Good night to you. It's great to see you as ever, brother. Can't wait to hear about your adventures in college.
Yeah. So. Good night, Jaden. Thank you for all some great chats tonight. You're always here for me. I appreciate you very, very much. Be another one I'd love to get on and just pick your brain. It'd be great. So
agreed.
Well, Steve, you're one of the few sane people on YouTube at the time and Reddit with the with that show. Like it was few and far between. So I had if I saw someone who was sane, I had to grab onto him quick.
Yeah, that's well, true. There were very well. I mean, it's how me. I know that's how I started my channel. It's the same story as you, Salty. Nobody was talking about it. It was all like, and it just pissed me off, right? So it was one of those.
None of us knew each other. Yeah. I didn't know you. I didn't know Zax. I didn't know OPG 70. I didn't know anybody. I was just out there on my own making these videos, and suddenly people are like, "Hey, get on Twitter, do this thing, send me an email, do this," and then we start talking about this, and we're like, "Can't believe what we're seeing." This, and nobody's saying it. That's how these friendships and these relationships were formed, was because of Robert Jordan. It's a true story.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and it's the wait, am I crazy thing where you and that's how you bond, right?
Yeah.
No, it's exactly that thing, because that's all I could think. Because I remember preemptively making some like fluff, I'll call it now. They were terrible fluff article like reaction things about before it came out, just because I wanted it started because it came out, because I had this pit in my stomach that I thought it was going to be terrible, and then it was terrible, and then nobody was saying it was terrible, including my brother, who at some point I'm going to get on the camera, well, at least on a microphone, and get the take of somebody who was, because he's another great take I'd love to hear about, because he was in denial for a long time about the show, up until I think he made it even through Step In. And it got to like episode 6 before he realized it was a train wreck. And then as soon as he realized it was a train wreck, he went back, and the floodgates just opened. It's like, this is all garbage, right? So it is that I am I crazy? There's no way I'm crazy. And then just you this is how you find, I guess, sane people with like minds, people that can think for themselves. I don't know, but yeah, I'm better for it. I mean, that's the only thing I can say is at least something great has come out of it. I got this channel. I've met all of you guys. And man, I am a better person for it. So I think, and the chat, all of you guys, Mike, thanks for coming back, my man. I appreciate it.
Hey, Steve, I'm going to dip.
Yeah, man. Thank you for wrenching for a while and hanging out, dude. I can't wait to talk some Saul with you soon, man. I'm looking
one
forward
week
to it.
1 week from now. So,
but yeah,
it's because Zach's presence here just triggers me.
Oh Jesus!
There's no trigger warning, so I need to go. I need to go into the corner and rethink my life.
I'm not sorry at all.
I'm a new YouTuber. What can I do? I forgot the trick. A wild Zax may show up from time to time. Sorry about that.
But no, I love Zax. No, we're just.
You want to plug your channel real quick? What you got going on, dude?
Oh, sure. So my channel, I mean, even though the name on the screen says The Odd Mural, because I'm big Wrath of Khan fan, my channel is called the Nerdporial Life Form. I do reviews, retrospectives of movies, shows, video games. So right now my big project is I'm working on, like I said, Ocarina of Time retrospective, probably my favorite game of all time. And I want it to be my magnum opus. So it's going to be like an epic movie. It's going to have an intermission and everything. And
Wow.
I already redesigned the opening eye catch, or I forget what we call it. Opening
just
jingle,
title screen.
opening jingle intro.
Yeah.
So just to pump you up. So all right, but yeah, I'm writing it right now. So I'm in Kakariko Village, so I have to go back to Kakariko Village.
Geez,
and then
man, you're right at
climb
the
up
beginning.
Death Mountain. So yeah, I'm still in the beginning. I'm 9
Have
pages
fun.
in. No, I'm already on page 9. So
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
all right,
Thanks for coming, my man.
Awesome
later,
to see you,
Admiral.
dude. See,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Steve,
right.
before you jump, you guys were talking about the very first videos you did for Wheel of
Yeah.
Time. If you wouldn't mind taking that screen.
Yeah, you got it.
So I made this video. You can see last June 8th, 2021. And you can see, like, I'm still getting people viewing this. And I was calling out understanding Amazon's Wheel of Time character changes and woke tones. Now, this is before we got anything else. And I'm not saying that I'm Nostradamus, but I saw warning signs before this all started. I think we all did. To me, one of the biggest things was the deliberate changing of all of the ethnicities of the characters, even though they're from the same village. And the other part was the aging up of the characters, you know? And here we are. Though they may seem like small changes, but they weren't. They're fractal changes.
The aging up of the characters specifically, I think, is terrible. Especially when you consider that they aged the characters up with the stated purpose of making a more mature show. And then what do we get? We get freaking Twilight love triangles and just absolute YA fantasy garbage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To replace what we had, which was actually more mature. So they took these characters, they aged them up so they could bone, and then they emotionally aged them down into freaking children.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
I just wanted to share that because, I mean, we didn't jump on this bandwagon because we saw a show and then started making things up. Like I think all of us here and some other people who aren't on the show tonight, we were connected to this, excuse me, in a real way. And I think for a lot of us too, there weren't a lot of really big channels that covered Wheel of Time. And to me, I was confused by that because, I mean, to me, Wheel of Time is one of those series in high fantasy that I think is obviously top 10, if not top 5 high fantasy series, of the last 40 years, 50 maybe. And,
I'm not to say all time. I mean, like, the genre really started,
Yeah, I mean, with Tolkien, and you can go back a little bit farther, and it depends on what you say fantasy is, and I get all that, and Conan Doyle and Burroughs and all the other people, but it was wild to watch this kind of fly under the radar, and it was really much smaller channels. I mean, other than the shill big channels, which were saying how great this was, that we were kind of fighting what appeared to be a pitched battle, and who knew how many people actually saw the same things that we didn't have the same issues,
It was people in real life too, or friends of mine who had read the books and they were watching the show and they were convinced that no, it's going to be this little bit here and then it's going to definitely turn around at this point and he's not going to let this happen to someone else. He definitely won't give this moment to these other characters. And like, it's so obvious that's what's going to happen. And they wouldn't see it until it was actually shown to them. It was insane. So I found you guys.
Yeah, sorry, I was dealing with something in the background.
No,
Yeah,
you
all
found
good.
me. I mean, like, I didn't know who I didn't know who Zax was. I mean, I think I had 300 subscribers. This guy's like, I want to be a mod on your channel. I'm like, I didn't even know what that meant. And then
Well, it's funny. It's funniest thing, dude. No. I think, and I know we're back to this because look, it's been so fun. Like all of it's been so fun. And I said,
Yeah.
Mike, I sent you the link, dude, because I know we had talked before.
I got a quote. Robert Jordan's response to the efforts of the shills and the.
Just give me a sec, Pips.
Yeah.
I just want to finish this thought. Then you can go for it. But it's one of those. I remember Kyle sending specifically through White Cloaks, sending me messages. Just like, hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. Yada yada yada. Right. And then I started watching Salty stuff, and I didn't realize Zach's handle on Reddit was Zach's. Because they're different. So like, oh, wait a second, that's you? And he's like, yeah, that's me. And I'm like, oh, crap. That's fucking awesome. So I just thought it was funny because like, hey, I'm paying attention, guys, like what you guys had to say. And it's like, oh, I'm talking to Zach's twice.
Yeah, because I use the same avatar everywhere. So that's the only link. I had different names because I signed up with different names and didn't know how to go back and change them actually. So
Mike, up.
Mike.
Hello.
Hey, so
I'm here.
Pip, but Mike, Sandy, how you doing, my friend?
Doing very, very well. Just doing recording section and got that done. So
cool. Bashing some. Let's bash some cringe of con. Right. So what were we gonna say, Pip? So sorry, I know I interrupted.
Yeah. So we're talking about all the shill channels and the attempt to control the narrative, right? Because I think that's really what it was, the attempt to control the narrative by both silencing people, and obviously anybody who was ever a part of the White Cloak subreddit understands how things were silenced, but both the messaging that was promoted and the silencing of other messages. So I got a quote here. It's from Lord of Chaos. So this is Robert Jordan's thoughts on I guess censorship, right? So Rand goes to visit the Black Tower, and Taim is there, and he hears the term the Black Tower for the first time, and he expresses some concern about the Black Tower, like what is that term? And Taim responds.
For anybody, I know we got some new readers. Spoilers. You might want to close your ears for about I don't know, a minute. So sorry, just wanted to throw that in there.
No, fair. Bad Pips. All right.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, go. Spoilers.
All right. So he's got a line here where Taim says in response to the word, the Black Tower, I can suppress it if you wish. It's easy enough to take a word from men's lips. Rand hesitated. Easy enough to take a word from their lips, perhaps, but not from their minds. And that's why we're all here, right? Is because they worked too hard to take criticism of the show from people's lips, and it left us having to find other people who were thinking the same thoughts, because we were left there sitting there like, this is crazy. Like I can't be the only person who's looking at this and thinking this is objectively bad.
The other part too is there was some active, and in my opinion, some paid. They were either bots or they were people that, especially right before the show came out, because if you remember, this was not a critically well-received show at all. The Vanity Fair article, the Variety article were not kind to the Wheel of Time at all, and rightfully so. Now, obviously, look what they've done with the Rings of Power. They've learned their lesson. They want that Daddy Bezos money, so they gotta play ball.
Oh, but that Bezos money. That's the one.
And then we had Sanderson come out and talk about how, look, Grimdark really didn't like what he did to Matt, really didn't like Perrin having a dead wife, but he's like, I trust Rafe Judkins completely. It's just that, what he did to 2 of the Taveran.
What he did to 2 of the Taveran, and then what he did to the other 2 of the now 5 Taveran.
And then of course Sanderson repeated the same criticism 6 months later, and everybody was on the video that I had. I mean, my video got ratioed, but it's the first time I really had like 600 downvotes on a video, but I had like 2,000 upvotes, but it was a 31,000 view video. And for me at the time, I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
And it goes back to people are hungry for people who are being real. and authentic. We are lied to every day about every goddamn thing in the world. And if you come on this platform and you love something and you want to tell your truth about it, and you have a modicum of talent, you will find someone to watch your videos. I mean, Flaccid Phoenix is living proof of that. So there you go.
It's true.
Inside joke.
Man, never gotta get. I love it, man. Every stream, man. You got it. Flaccid is in every stream. Flaccid Phoenix makes his way into everyone. I love it. But
he's flopping everywhere.
Yeah, he's flopping everywhere. But so have you, Mike, Zax? Have you seen this what Wheel of Time con thing at all? None of it.
No.
All right. Oh boy, you get. So we're halfway through this. So hold on. I will recap for you. The stellar events happened for 100. So hold on. So let me build this up here. Okay, give me a second. For
so terrible.
The small price of $150, or you could just send them $26,000 in a GoFundMe.
They're going to give me the 150.
No.
I have to give.
No,
okay.
sir. No.
That would be a better. That
you
would
get to
that
stay
would
in
make
a
more sense.
quality.
That would make way more sense.
You get to stay in a quality was it Holiday Inn Hotel? Marriott. I'm sorry,
Holiday Inn, right?
Marriott Hotel. You got to pay for that too. So a $129 rate, $150 to get in. Or if you're really feeling spicy, you can have a dinner later with the hosts and pay $360. So just keep that in mind.
But you better mask up between bites.
Yeah, make sure you bring your Vax card and make sure you wear your mask except for when eating, hugging, having pictures, talking, and everything else or whatever.
Okay, I thought you were joking about that until you were so specific.
No.
Have the booster too, by the way. That better be a boosted Vax card.
I'm not kidding.
So we're going through. So here's what you're paying for with your. I'm going to assume because everybody's going to buy the $360 VIP ticket because I don't know why you wouldn't. So for $360, okay, you get the main stage opening ceremony. Then you get the Wheel of Time relationships, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. Where they basically just trashed his relationship building. Robert Jordan's not the show because Rafe Judkins is the best.
Right. Yeah.
Best and the worst. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the best and worst show revelations.
Who cares? It's not Robert Jordan.
Yeah,
this is the Amazon con.
Best show revelations. The things that are in the books. Worst show revelations. Everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
God.
Wait, is the host Daniel Green?
I'm not going to bash the host. He is not the host, sir. Now, I will not have him defaming your name. He is the talent, sir. He is not the
talent.
Host.
He's
something.
He
is the talent. He is the headlining attraction. Daniel Green will be there. You will get to shake his hand.
What do you guys think his rider?
$360. He will cook your steak to perfection.
I hope he talks about his sexuality.
What do you guys think his?
No, I wanted him to bring that root with him. I want him to bring the root. And if you guys have saw his video, you know what I'm talking about.
He'll sign one of those for you and hand it over. $360. Okay,
that's it.
What do you guys think the Daniel Green rider was? What stuff had to be in his room for him to show up for this?
Oh man, I think he's
in his room. Yeah,
a 5-gallon bucket of only like brown M&Ms, probably a shaved midget zebra.
Oh my gosh.
Hair on the side.
Okay, hold on.
Questionable adult movies.
I'm sorry, Prophet. I'm just derailing your conversation.
You guys are messing up my presentation.
You're having good, clean fun, and we're.
Why do we hate Gowan? Okay. Oh my god.
Wow. This is a $360 presentation. All right, I've made $26,000 on freaking GoFundMe. All right, please.
Okay. This is amazing so far.
$5,000 of that was from one person, by the way.
Do I have to show you the GoFundMe about how important I am? Because come on. All right. So why do we hate Gowan? Because we're going to waste an hour on that.
Because he sucks.
There we go.
Conversation done.
I have I'm not even going to go. Well, that's for another 5 minutes in heaven.
This is what we need to discuss. We'll
go into this.
What?
5 minutes.
Are you being serious? This is a topic?
This is a topic.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Wait. So you get an adult massage with a happy ending at this conference?
That would be much better.
Profit. Tee us up for this. This is good.
Wait.
By Rafe's boyfriend.
So there's four.
Maxim is there.
Spoilers. You got to say spoilers for season 2, Mike. I'm sorry.
There's no spoiling the show. Spoilers for the show don't count as spoilers.
Oh my god! Alternate convention idea. Fans,
man.
fans with hair on their chest. There you go. That's a good. Thanks, Dane.
Oh, Dane.
No.
Dane's in the chat.
Wow.
There we go.
Getting
I have to give a
medieval.
shout out to Dane.
So
medieval.
5 minutes. So you guys are I'm never gonna get this presentation. All right, 5 minutes in heaven. Now this is gonna happen 4 times, guys. 4 times. We're not gonna just do 1 and 2. We're gonna do 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. Okay, so you get 4 hand jobs for 360. Okay, so imagine Amazon. Nobody caught that, huh? 4 hand jobs
I
I was
heard it.
gonna say-
I was
gonna say,
I was
mean,
trying to.
and a
I was
steak
trying to
that looks like
process if that was a good rate.
a steak and a ground beef.
Yeah, I was-
Steak that's really ground beef. Okay, 360. Okay, remember that. Imagine Amazon has given us a gift we all want: 5 more minutes for each episode of the Wheel of Time season 1. Panelists will have to
Oh
make
my
a case for what would be in the best way to use those 5 minutes, or episode 1, 2. What would add the most? What would best address the shortcomings of the episode? Audience get to vote on their favorite
all right.
pitches.
I think Salty might be in
Pip,
the same vein as
Pips,
me here.
go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to say there's a question for me. Is it
Mhm.
5 more minutes directed by Rafe Judkins and company, or 5 more minutes directed by you, the fan? Because if it's 5 more minutes
Yeah.
directed by Rafe Judkins and company, I'm just hoping for 5 minutes of black at the end of the credits.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the least
you know
damaging thing that
what?
could happen.
I just want that sad Sarah McLachlan abused animal commercial where it's like in the arms of an
Oh, I'm
angel.
dying.
A commercial that never ends. That I think would probably add more value to every episode.
Just a picture of the eye of the world, just having damage done to it, just pouring water on it, hitting
Or
it with
better-
an axe.
Or better yet, how about 5 minutes out of the audiobook of the actual book that we all know and love, just with a black screen and them reading you what the actual story is. Because that's the only effing Robert Jordan
All right.
we would get. out
So
of
episode one, the clear answer is the.
So go ahead, Pips, go
prologue.
first. Go. What would you do? I want to hear this. Go ahead, Pips. You go. Go.
Episode
Keep it
one
short,
is
though.
clearly the prologue.
That's it. All right.
That's it. That's all I got.
What about 2? What about for episode 2?
Barrelon. I think Barrelon.
Zach, so you were gonna say something, weren't you?
I was going to say, can you kill off characters? Is that something you can do in the last
Sure.
5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Can you
5
kill off
minutes.
audience
Anything
members?
goes.
I
Anything
volunteer
goes.
as tributes.
Anything goes, Zach. You got 5 minutes. Episode 1 and 2. What do you do? Go. I want to hear.
Well, I would have Maxim driving a wagon full of every chick on the show who is a 5 or below, and the wagon goes right off a cliff.
That's a big wagon, dude. That's
It's a big
all
one.
of them. It's all of them.
Mhm.
And
You'd have Moraine. You'd have
that's a
Moraine
Canadian-
standing there.
And that's a Canadian
All right.
5, not an American 5. So I'm talking about
Holy
3s.
crap.
I want to answer this question
Yes,
globally.
please. You're next, sir. I got Mike. You'll get a chance after.
Camelin.
And I did see your super chat, Mike. Thank you.
Camelin.
You're welcome.
I want to go to
Camelin.
it too. Camelin. Okay.
Camelin and Elaine
Yep.
and Rand.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well, but that. So wait, but that would be. So you're talking. You guys. That would be episode 3. I just
That
want a
would-
proper Shadow
That
Logan.
would be episode
I'm just-
3 or
yeah.
episode 4. would be-
Anywhere in there.
yeah,
That's why I
somewhere
jumped
in
with it. But Shader Logoth is a given, Camelin, and then honestly, I would like to have 5 minutes in every episode of only one character, and that is freaking Tom Merrill. Actually looking, acting, and being a good older male mentor like he was in the books to these boys. Because without that, you have fundamentally destroyed Robert Jordan's world.
Yep.
You have.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like for the first one. I mean, Mike. Well, Mike, go first, and then just because mine are pretty simple. I mean, I already said Shadow Logan, but Mike, what would you? I mean, this is sort of a good topic, but it makes me freaking cringe what they're going to answer. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
My silly answer would probably be that they wake up as if it was all a dream. Oh my God!
One again, lose there.
Yeah, something. None of those things happened.
There you go.
Yeah, none of those things that we just did happened, and now we get to start the whole series over again.
Dane nailed it.
Dane
Yeah.
Boardholm and
You
I
guys
are on the same page.
wavelength there, Mike.
But if you want me to give a more serious answer, I would say Land teaching the sword, teaching weapons to the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
God,
like to
yeah,
have seen that.
So, like,
Yeah,
and I know
absolutely.
so mine's going to be because I was really pissed at episode 1 because of the simple fact I really wanted to see Rand's real trudge through the woods with Tam. Not that bullshit.
Agreed.
I wanted to see that scene so badly. It's like I just so much like the same thing as I want to see Matt fighting Gowan and Galad in Camelin or in the White Tower. I want that scene. I want to see that scene. It's one of the things that I dreamed about when I thought, "Hey, this show is good. This is going to be a live action show, or they're making a show of this." I can't wait to see. There's like a handful. Rand trudging through the fight between Gowan, I always say it wrong, but Dumais Wells or Dumani Wells or however it is. I want to see
Dumani Wells.
I want to actually see the Black Tower, and then Perrin making his fucking hammer.
So it's funny you talk about Rand trudging through the woods. I think a comment on one of our recent videos was actually somebody saying that they were unsure about the book, and then they read Rand dragging his dad through the woods, and that was like what hooked them into the series. That was when they were like, "Hey, I'm on board with this story." And I think you're 100% right to pull that out as like that was a viscerally relatable sort of character moment.
Yep. He spends a whole night. He spends a whole night trying to save his father, who he doesn't. So now, who all of a sudden he's not sure is his father. Wounded, dragging him through the woods, has no idea what's going on, hiding and ducking from this monster that
trying to keep him quiet.
Myth. Trying to keep his father who's
on the road and stuff.
His father who's ranting and raving. He's having to put his hand over his mouth and keep him quiet. And instead, we I mean, it's just that scene is. I don't understand how you don't put it in there. It immediately endears me to Rand.
Easy. It's easy. The answer is because then you don't have the female characters overshadowing the male characters.
Yeah.
Because then you don't hit the ESG scores. And I mean, the other reason is how are you going to hit that mythical audience that Rafe Judkins referenced? You guys remember that quote where we didn't make the show for people who actually read the books.
We didn't make it for the 90 million people who have bought books and copies of
This is real. That's literally what he said. And we didn't make it for people who loved fantasy shows either.
But here's the thing is that ask anyone who watched the show who didn't read the books, what's a Deverin? Nothing on the show explained anything. You have to go ask people who read the book to explain the show to them. So it's an absolute bullshit excuse he uses.
Corey mentioned Tom Merlin. He wanted to be one of the parts to put back in there. Do you remember when Egwene shouts out, "Tell us the story about," and it was some of the stuff that's real world references, things like going to the moon in the belly of eagle made of fire and all that stuff. Do you think that stuff was left out because they want to separate our world from that world? They want it to not be the same place?
I don't think so, because remember they had the CG of the buildings that it looked like Los Angeles overgrown with shrubbery.
Right, but those buildings were from the Age of Legends, so that would have been different buildings.
It really did look like current year, and
okay.
I mean I get what you're saying. I mean, this is where we can be fans and we can disagree. I think you're right, but I also think my point was I saw that and it was like that TV show Life After People, and I thought it was really clumsy and ham-fisted, but I could be wrong.
Just curious, but we all agree we want to go to this thing, right?
No. I don't know if I can get. Well, you know what? Everybody's been so generous with the super chat. Yeah, there's a chance we may have an inside guy, but and I missed this, so I want to say it real quick. Nico Glock with the $2 said Zach's my man when he showed up, so I didn't want to miss that. But I am morbidly curious. But you heard all the answers we had. We have stacks and stacks of scenes that we could have put in here. I just these panels, the add 5 minutes panels, and there's one more which I'll show real quick in a minute. I am just really curious to know what they would say. Go ahead, Salty.
I have one more, and this is just for the show.
Okay.
I would have wanted 5 minutes of every episode to be nothing but Moraine and Suan Sanche scissoring.
Amen, brother.
We can get you on this panel right now.
Hear me out, because that's what the show.
By Amazon? Are you?
Yeah, no, I've said it. I can be bought. I mean, I can just pay off my mortgage and give me a Lamborghini. I'll dance in a pink tutu for you, Amazon. But in the meantime, I will tell the truth. And but that's what that's what was important to this show.
Mm.
The gender identity and the sexuality of these characters, which is very accurately, detailedly described for Sawan Sanche, for Moraine, for all of the Aes Sedai, where they end up.
Yeah.
And yet we didn't get it. They literally pissed away a quarter, a half of an episode just making up a lesbian love story for characters who weren't lesbians.
Yep, killed Gareth Bryan in one.
So if we're gonna do that, I want scissoring every episode. Let's just come on, commit to this, Amazon.
Well, I mean, Aldan said Galad's going to be a they them. I promised Dane.
I've heard that.
I've promised Dane I'll save it for him, so I will. But Gowan's audition is basically him saying he wants to get with Ivron or whatever. Alluding to him being gay. It's like it's just he really is doing it. Every time it's crazy, everybody's go, oh, he's just joking. He goes on Twitter and says, you keep complaining, I'm going to make all your favorite characters gay.
He did on social media.
He was going to make him gay in the first place. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, it's crazy just to think. And it's just, I'm morbid. Like I see, Zach wants to cause a gas leak in there, but they'd probably just huff it and be fine. I mean, they're already half dead in the brain anyways, but
it might improve the writing.
You probably would tenfold, but it's like
it's their own farts they're huffing.
Mike, sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you, buddy.
Oh no, it's good. I was gonna. Well, now I freaking forgot.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, that's all right.
So I do. Go.
Yeah. So we were talking about making the various characters gay, and I bring this up. I brought it up quite a bit when I made my original videos back in the early years. Look at it. The actor who plays Rand, all his previous roles, he's played a gay character and made out with guys.
Is that true?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
There is no accident there.
I had no idea.
They're going to do something with him, and I was just leaving it there.
Well, because they're taking all his love interest and giving them to other people, except for I guess Egwene is
and Perrin. Don't forget Perrin.
Well, Perrin, that's who it's going to be, right? Because Aviendha's going to reject Perrin, and then Perrin's going to go crying to his manly best friend Rand, right? So
yeah.
I'm going to
that's why he killed his wife.
That's a scene that's the scene they're adding, by the way.
I want to credit OBG70 for saying that, and it's coming true. It is absolutely coming true. I mean, the show, again, much like with Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Halo, Tolkien, it has the names of the characters, but it's the thickness of aluminum foil, and what's inside is just a hot steaming pile.
It's a body
ideology. Yeah, that's it. And this is not Robert Jordan's world any more than the Rings of Power is Tolkien's world, any more than Master Chief in Halo was Master Chief from the Halo franchise, and here we are, and I think we're going to be upset about this. And I think there is an opportunity to talk about these things, and I think to focus on what happened in the books. Like what are you missing? Because I think the best way to, I wouldn't say embarrass Amazon. I think that could be a benefit of it. But the best way to let people know what they're missing is to say this was the great story that should have taken place right here. And instead you've got scissoring and you've got, whatever with gay Rand.
Nipple pinching and
Well, I mean, Tank Plague's comment right here is what I'm finding is happening a lot. I mean, we've all got our own stories of people picking up the books. I was reading Eye of the World at the gym last week, and a guy told me to stop reading because the show is trash. I told him about what they had changed, so now he and his wife are enjoying the books.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you're hearing a lot of that.
Well, that's awesome, but if he represents more people that don't want to read the books because of the show, that's sad.
No, but just somebody, changing somebody's mind and getting him to read the books.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, that is. But I think that
the show is ruining it for some people.
But how many of him exist that nobody said this is the reason why it's?
Well, there's a reason Wheel of Time went up to the #1 on the bestsellers list right after the show came out too.
That's true. It's
Good.
true.
I wonder how many people watched the show and said that they liked it for whatever crazy reason, and then read the books and like had some sort of like a weird sort of like cognitive dissonance moment.
I saw it. I saw it in real time, and I saw it. I think Mike, you shared some things on Twitter where there were younger fans, readers, that went to go buy the books, and they were upset because the books were not like the television show. And then you have, like in my comments section, I swear to God, it's a couple dozen people who have said, "This show is garbage. You told me to pick up the book. I read the book. I love it. Why did they destroy the show?" And I still get comments trickling in from season 1 on that. Now, we've had several people come through here. Nerd Poil's one of them. You had the McCabe's that are some of them. There are other creators that are up and coming channels that have said the same thing. And I know we're not changing the world. Yeah. But if we can get to one person and that one person gets to another person, if we get 1 out of 100,000 people, we have changed the effing world.
Yeah.
You know,
for at least that person. I look at it. Yeah, for that person.
Yeah. Well, and this one, I think, because this one hits home. G Fox Mulder said this was them testing the waters to see what they could do because the Wheel of Time fandom wasn't able to push back hard enough. They are a going BC after Tolkien and Halo. And Halo is full of Christian symbiology. So, I mean, I think we've talked about this a lot. Is Wheel of Time was the testing ground for a lot of this stuff.
I said it. Yeah. I said it in my video. Mike did. Zach did. You did. A lot of people did. Yep. It was the proving ground for the strategy of how to deconstruct a fantasy series, and then when you have organic fan backlash, to shame, name call, ridicule, and shut out of the conversation.
Yeah, the only thing they didn't have for the Wheel of Time was a bus with the same people that Zach showed us.
Yeah, all the Canadian 5s and the American 3s.
Yeah, exactly. So real quick, because we're getting late. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
You're talking about the video with the Rings of Power commercial. The elf fans. Yeah. Did
you find any more yet?
Not yet.
Damn it. Okay, but before my presentation got screwed up, so we're gonna cut
we
right.
Can't talk about the middle one.
We're gonna cut right to the juice of the con. Okay, so queerness.
This hurts. This hurts reading this.
Now this is going to be the most crowded venue at the place. All right, let's do a deep dive on this one because I know everybody's dying.
I want to see what it says.
Can you actually go back and say, because they're doing 3 events at a time. So if you're picking this one, what are you picking it in favor?
So you're picking queerness instead of post-canon speculation, so that could be fun. That could be fun if it was anybody else doing it, like us here. We could probably do some cool post-canon stuff. You got,
but it's not the books. It's not the books. That's the problem.
Well, they're lying and saying it's about the books. So we do the books. Okay, all right. So 5 minutes in heaven for episode 3 and 4. We already know that's golden. You know that is a winner. I don't think there's any doubt. Golden. That was not unintentional. For our next topic, queerness in the Wheel of Time.
With those 3 options, there's no way I go to this one. Like,
I don't know.
The 5 minutes in heaven is the clear winner, right?
How you're just
my God! Read this.
I'm gonna read it. I'm reading it.
Oh no! I'm just like, are you kidding me? This is literally like pre-shilling for Rafe Judkins for what he said he's going to do for season 2.
Queerness in the Wheel of Time. With the advent of Amazon's Wheel of Time series, I should use my Avienda voice. We love so many reasons. Wait. The series we love for so many reasons has even more. Man, I'm gonna read. I can't even read it. Even more cred for open and positive portrayal of broad spectrum of characters. In this panel, we will focus on how queerness is handled in the books and the show. Queerness. Okay, panelists will discuss where both the books and the show hit the mark and where they can both improve. Well, you know where the book hit the mark? There was none of that shit in it.
Man, this is just going to be a panel of people shitting on the books.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, can you where the book they literally added book in there because
I love
they're obligated to.
Steve, I love the part that says the series we love.
Yeah.
Because if it's the series they love, none of this other bullshit should even be a topic, right? Because what they're saying is they don't really love the series.
No, they love seeing themselves.
It's like
everything.
It's like the guy that they want to marry and fix.
That is such a great.
There was one train. What are you talking about, Dane? Are we talking about Shadow Haran? Who was the train?
He's talking about
Are we talking about?
It was one of the Shadow.
No, it was Austin Gar or whatever, right? Yeah, okay. But he was literally a man. Well, I guess whatever.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
I mean,
hey, Prophet. Spoilers. Announcer spoilers.
I'm
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry. The questioner says this is a similar concept the Tolkien Society did to Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I think that was for back what we were talking about with the previous comment. So, hey DJ Grom, what's up, buddy?
Let me tell you a little story. So, I'll be quick. The Dallas Fan Expo, when I bought my tickets, was a month and a half. There was a schedule that was very old school. Didn't have any of this identity politics, sexuality stuff, no queerness and whatever.
VIP
3 days before the con starts, suddenly there are multiple panels devoted to queerness, identity politics, intersectional feminism related to fandom. And they took away sessions with legacy comic book authors. So this is a coordinated effort at indoctrination, at social engineering. And until I see otherwise, I am going to keep calling it that. And I just, there are other fantasy books that are out there that at their core have characters with different sexualities, with different gender pronouns. Mm-hmm. I don't read them, but some people do and they love them, and that's fine. And I don't begrudge anybody their fandom, but I'm not going into their fandom and looking at their characters and saying, this character needs to be heterosexual for me to enjoy it. Or you need to change this, and you need to have this be a nuclear family that votes a certain way or thinks a certain way. You can have your gay vampire romance. You can have your lesbian goblin scissoring, whatever you want. I don't care. It's great. I want you to have that for you. Mm-hmm. We never get that in return. And it pisses me off.
This reminds me of something. I had a conversation with somebody, and I was trying to describe this feeling that you're talking about. And I was like, look, I'm all for free speech, freedom of opinion, right? And if somebody, and I likened it to like, hey, somebody can criticize the Mona Lisa and be like, I don't think it's his best work. It's not a great example of Renaissance art. I don't like it for these reasons. Technically, it has these flaws. But if that somebody walks up and approaches it with a paintbrush in their hand to try and fix it, I think all of us should want to tackle that person to the ground and prevent them from doing it.
At a minimum.
And that's really where the breakdown happens between fans and these random interlopers, right? Where it's okay to criticize and say things that you think that Robert Jordan would have done differently or better, or have your own opinions about the stuff. But when you get to the point where you're okay and actually supporting changing his artwork, that's where you and I break as people who can communicate on what's going on.
That is also because you have a large majority of people that love a certain IP. If it's Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, if it's Star Wars, whatever it might be, Marvel, and you have that fan base that you get to bring in with you automatically. So you, instead of making your own intellectual property with your own ideals, your own agenda, your own activism, nobody will buy it. It's like 5% of the population would even like it if they could watch it. And of that 5%, half of that number would actually ever watch it. So the other 96, 98% of people, they will not watch that garbage. And so you have to go find what it is that they love and then put your agenda into it to try to sell it. And when you do that,
Marxism.
Yeah, and when you do that, you're basically indoctrinating people. As I use my metaphor, is the Trojan horse being wheeled through the gate. It's going into your kids' bedrooms.
Yeah,
they're watching Wheel of Time. I just got through watching a show the other day, Shadow and Bone. I had no idea what that was, and I go, I'll check it.
I reviewed it when it came out. So
I wish I would have seen your reviews. I was jumping in blind, and I go, what is this supposed to be? And then I did some research, and they Wheel timed it. They gender swapped, sexual orientation swapped, the race swapped. They did all these things with their agenda in mind. The difference is it was actually done well, whereas Wheel Time was not. But
the effects looked good, and they put more.
Well, I thought the acting was good. There were some characters I actually liked, even though they were wrong. But I didn't know what was wrong with it until I went back. But I still give it several points higher than Wheel of Time. And the budget was not even a third probably of Wheel of Time. So my point is, it happens all the
time. You can't tell
time.
from looking at it.
No, yeah, it's that same theme though. It's going to continue to happen. What do people love? Next we have, unfortunately, Lord of the Rings or the Tolkien world.
It's the anus of
same
Poder.
thing.
It's the anus of Poder. That's Portuguese for the Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just.
Make sure you check out Zach's.
Is that really Portuguese?
Why would I lie? Why would I lie to you about?
Come on.
I mean,
look at this guy.
It's the anus of Poder. That's Portuguese.
You think that Amazon would have workshopped that title better?
Yeah.
That's true.
Zach, I know you need to go. I also need to split, so I'm going to provide.
Yeah, we've been here for almost 2 hours, so so we'll be wrapping it up soon here too, guys. But maybe so if you guys, Zach, thank you for popping in, buddy. I'm sorry if I missed that you had to go, man.
No worries, not at all. Thanks for having me and congratulations. And it's Pips. I think I've streamed with you before, but it's good to meet you.
Yeah,
you too, brother.
Work all these white cloaks in here, bro. We gotta get their channel up and running. They're at 200 now, so we gotta grow them up. But 200,
yep.
Nice. So I mean, go check out Zach's. I mean, Zach, you want to plug your channel real quick? I'm sure most people here already view you. I hope, but
yeah, I got. I'm gonna be on Salty's stream tomorrow night, his regular live stream, and then my own show on Thursday at 8:15. So
topic yet?
It's going to be part 2 of Rated R comedies because people really wanted a part 2, and
dude,
I put up a poll, and man, I got a ton of votes on it. So
it's amazing.
So we're gonna do that part 2 on Thursday.
I had to go watch the replay of the first one. I was at work, so I didn't get to see it. So yeah, we got to talk some more Wheel of Time, buddy. It's amazing. I can't believe we haven't talked Wheel of Time, you and me. So we got to rectify that.
Wednesday night is wide open. Maybe we should look at potentially having conversations as an organized group on Wednesday night, but we don't have to decide that now.
That works for me, man. That sounds good. We'll figure that out. But Zach, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And thanks for all your help on everything. And it's a privilege to know you, my friend. It really is.
Oh wow, that's a bit much, but I'll take it. Right back at you, Steve.
Zach, it's pretty okay to know you. I agree.
I wouldn't be here if not for Mike, but I'm going to leave right now.
Oh, okay.
Have a good night. Have a good night, Zach.
Glass in Phoenix is more hung than you.
I'm going to split 2 guys just because I stayed a lot longer than I was going to.
Yeah,
just because I was having so much fun. But
I didn't realize it was 2 hours. So
no. You guys keep going. You guys got some more ground to cover. Pips, it was great to work with you. I hope we get to do it again. You're a fun dude. I like your scholarship on Robert Jordan, and it's always fun to hear other people's perspectives on Robert Jordan's story, as well as what Rafe Judkins has done on Amazon. Mike, dude. Always great to see you, and I look forward to your next astronomy. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it pretty soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, Steve, congratulations. I predicted you would hit 1,000 before the end of June, and I was right. So very well done, sir. Very well done. And I have my Tuesday show tomorrow night. Be at 7:15 Central. I will be on Zach's Thursday show. I think it's at 8:00 or something. I'm going to be his producer, and then of course also doing a lot of work with Purple Valkyrie on some woo-woo videos and other creators. Thanks for having me on. Have a great show.
Anytime, man.
Have a good night.
Thanks again.
Yeah, Salty. Well met, Salty.
So I don't. You guys want to stick around a little bit, or do you want to keep going?
I'm open.
So,
hey man, I got nothing better to do than talk about Jordan.
There's 2 things I could do here. We could keep going on CringeCon, or or I can get Dane in here as I promised him about the Gowan audition debacle.
Oh man!
You got to get him in.
I have wanted to cover that. So
come on, Dane,
honestly,
jump in.
Let's do it.
I promised him we wouldn't cover it, so we'll finish CringeCon real quick because there's only a little bit left, and then we'll go from there. So Dane, I'm gonna send you a link if I can figure out how to do this YouTube stuff anymore. Chat, thank you for sticking around so long. It's been awesome. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I wasn't sure what we were going to discuss today, but you know what? I have to say it's always refreshing that I feel like I don't always come in thinking we're going to be talking Wheel of Time the whole time, and then we always do because there's just so much to talk about, whether it's the books or the show or whatever. So it's yeah, I'm glad you guys are all here, and I've seen some new people that I haven't seen the chat before, so thank you for joining in. The chat has been awesome so far.
Yeah,
so I am trying my best to highlight some chats, so it's not just us, but I am on my own, floundering a little bit here, but I appreciate all your patience.
That's good.
Dane, I have sent you a link, and we're going to continue here on. Let's see here. Let's bring this back up because so we got now unsolved viewings and dreams and prophecies. So I think I was talking to you guys yesterday. I want to see them do this because I'm going to laugh my butt off when they start talking about viewings, dreams, and prophecies that were fulfilled in the book. So, like, I think my example was, hey, what was that hawk and that falcon all about, right? And it's just like, you guys are so freaking dumb.
Yeah, I was really hoping that they'd finally answer that question about the 3 women and Rand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what even was that? Like, I don't even know.
Dane, what's up, my brother?
Hey guys.
Dane, for the record, that was sarcasm. I know the 3 women.
I would sometimes
don't jump down my throat.
Yeah.
Wait. I got something for you, Pips.
Okay. Are you dropping some glasses on? Nice.
So we're incognito.
Exactly.
Oh gosh. Oh, I have radio. What is happening?
I got my security clearance to think about.
No, actually, that's pretty nice.
Are you guys going to this con
good.
on the download? You guys are just gonna like put your sunglasses on and sneak in and simply like,
I just thought it's because we were super paranoid.
All you guys, sunglasses inside.
Pips has been canceled like 7 times from Reddit right now. So
I'm gonna cosplay as literally any of the characters since they would never recognize him.
That's true. You're probably about dead on.
Well, it's because if you're, you get the paint chart next to you, you're the wrong skin color, and we're canceled.
Mental health and Wheel of Time.
Well, I gotta lighten myself up, I guess. There we go.
There you go. Well, if you have your sunglasses on too.
Dane's getting interrogated in the background over there.
A little bit. You know what? That was a bit aggressive.
Oh my gosh.
So, so are we going to Ohio for this?
We have to
convention.
We have to.
I thought you were. I thought we'd already talked about it.
I thought Alex invited me, but I wasn't sure if we were going to do the.
We got to go to all these panels, and we have to ask all the right questions.
We just need somebody to live stream.
With like a GoPro or a body cam.
I would laugh so hard because they try to kick you out. They'd be like, "You got to leave." It's like, "Well, I paid." It's like, "Well, you got to leave." It's like, "Okay, well, make us." And then like they just walk away.
But should I show up with a freaking armor suit on and a white tabard with a sunburst on it? Like
that would be epic.
Because
if you showed up with the tabard with a sunburst on it, they actually wouldn't know who you are.
Uh-oh. I think he's about to cosplay. What's happening here?
Oh gosh, what's Dane doing? I got Aldon.
Hold on. DJ Grom's got a question. What's with old Asian men? You tell me. I have no idea. You tell me. I have no clue.
I think if I even try to answer that question, this whole stream will get shut down.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
Dan, I can't go to Ohio. Like, well, I could. I just don't want to.
No one wants to go to Ohio.
But I do have the most expensive part of my White Cloak costume, which would be the sword. So
I am very surprised it's not in San Francisco.
You'd have to cosplay as Valda though. That's the only Blade Master White Cloak that we know about.
I think Pedro Nile would have reached that level, but
so hold on. So we're just gonna, and then they're going to dance to the Jack of Shadows.
Pedro Nile. He makes me think of a guy who holds the baton rather than the sword, as a good general should.
DJ Nibbles is doing the Jack of Shadows dance. Which
I gotta look this. I gotta look him up, or her up, or it up, or they them up, or whatever it is.
They're gonna dance the Jack of Shadows away, right?
The Jack of the Shadows dance is gonna be pretty interesting.
I don't know, man. I may have to, but I don't know. The online ticket for this, it's
only $30. It's only $30. You made. You made that in this live stream. You can go ahead and you can just.
If you got the online ticket, if you got the online ticket to this event,
yes.
How do you attend the dance? Do you just Get to kind of watch it?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. It doesn't say. Our program is working tireless to build confidence. Shut up. Whatever. It doesn't say.
Yeah, but
it doesn't say.
To be quite fair, if I was attending a Jack of the Shadows dance at a Wheel of Time conference, I would only attend such a thing under the exclusive, explicit agreement that it would not be filmed.
Yeah, I would want that too. But I mean, it's not up to them. They just pay and shut up and go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
get in. Shut up. Get in there.
The real value here, honestly, is taking the online ticket and seeing what potentially we could see.
Well, all the panels are going to be Cringe Fest 2020. It's just there's no way. Like just seeing all the things.
Prophet, all I'm saying is you made some serious. You made some bank on the first live chat. Good for you, and I hope it's good. But if you really want to put it to good use, if you buy yourself an online ticket for this convention, and you're able to record hours upon hours of cringeworthy streaming content.
I don't know if my heart can take it. You guys want me to put these people's hard-earned money that they donated to me out of the goodness of their hearts to those people.
Dude, it's all about return on investment. Because if this turns into like 700 hours of content where you can make fun of these people, I do.
Think about it. All those people who gave you $5 get a $30 ticket to the show by watching your live stream of what's happening. It's in all seriousness,
I am considering it, but it depends on my work schedule. Because if I'm working, then obviously it's just a waste of money. But
our own
you could
Alex
just OBS
Green,
it and
our own Alex Green said that he might show up in person. He's apparently based out of Columbus.
Dude, if he can do that, that'd be freaking awesome.
Which dude, honestly. Like, man, I just want to see him get hauled away by the police when they find out he's a white cloak.
We'll watch the streams of anything and look for the bald guy getting hauled out by security.
It's like, what is happening? Dude, I hope he makes it. That would be so good, man.
I would literally, I'd make popcorn and just watch the whole thing.
Now I'm tempted to go to Ohio. But I really don't want to go.
The only time anyone has ever said that.
All right. So as we
this is so bad.
And that was pretty much all of Cringe Fest 2002, Cringe Con. I am tempted a little bit to buy the online ticket because then I don't have to be in the same room as them. But, just for some of those panels, like I'm just very curious what they have to say because we all. It's going to be so less intelligent than we thought.
Yeah, I think you had a super chat, but I'm kind of curious. The people who are in the chat right now, out of all the panels that we talked about there, which one of those are you most interested in showing up to for the comedic purposes?
Oh my god! I mean,
the queerness one's going to sound fucking awesome. I'd want to join for that one.
I think honestly, the 5 minutes in heaven one has got to be gold. Like,
well, there's 4 of those.
There's no way that you add 5 minutes to any one of these episodes and fix it.
The only way is flicker, flicker, flicker. Like I said.
So I just want to hear like the level of cope that's involved in that discussion.
Let me read the super chat real quick. Lyle Hammock, how are you, sir? Glad you could make it. Hail to you and congratulations on 1K. I can't hang because me and the wife have plans. Anyway, here's to your continued success. Lyle, thank you very much. I appreciate you even stopping by. I know it's on 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Have some great fun with your wife. And thank you for the support and always being here, my friend. And I hope you're plugging away in that book. I can't wait for you to be done so you can get in and stay in on some of these longer discussions. Because I know it's hard. We don't want to spoil it for you. So thank you for coming. I appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, and I think now is the time, just a quick side out, I should probably mention to you guys, who I believe are all Americans, and odds are most people watching are Americans, but happy birthday. Congratulations. And as an outside observer, I've always kind of been jealous that your national birthday is like the best one out there.
Yeah, I mean...
It is. It's got the best history. It's got the best philosophy behind the founding, the foundational documents. So I've got a political science degree from way back in the day. I've always been enamored with the U.S. Constitution. I've loved everything that went behind it. I've read all the Federalist Papers. Madison was a fucking genius. Loved Jefferson. Loved kind of all of it, all the thought that went through it. I think it's the greatest political experiment in human history, and it's been ongoing for over 200 years. So, congrats for another year. I know it's never been easy within your current context. There are examples in history of where America's been tested more, but the spirit and the resolve of you guys as a country, I think it is and always has been since 1776 a beacon to the rest of the world. And this is, it's as, I hope, as much as a neutral observer that a Dutch Canadian can be. But keep it up. You guys are an example for the rest of us.
Thank you, man.
Very well said, and thank you.
Happy birthday, July 4th, the year of our Lord 2022, and of the United States, 246.
You're here.
So I'm making a poll. What am I putting in for this? I got 5 Minutes in Heaven, mental health. What were the other ones? Daniel Green.
There was the queerness one. There was
queerness. There you go. Queerness.
The relationships one.
I think I can only put 4. So I have 5 Minutes in Heaven, mental health, because I put mental health because G Fox said that he was looking for it. So I got mental health, Daniel Green, and queerness, and then 5 Minutes in Heaven. We think that's pretty good. Well, we'll go with that.
Yeah,
because I can only put 4. So we'll go with that. We'll see what we get there. All right. So first poll. We'll see how this works. I've never done it before, so that would be good to get to try it out. So we did get a few answers. So we'll see what the poll says.
Partner program sort of bennies, huh?
I don't know if that's partner program or not. They would. I tried to start the membership thing, like the join thing, but I'm too young for that. I guess we'll see. But we'll see what happens. But so G Fox said mental health one. Al Dan said 5 Minutes in Heaven. Man, yes, not woo man. All right. Sorry.
He's Australian.
I know. I want to get him. He's got to, dude. Al Dan's got to get on here, man. But
we got him teed up for one of the rewatches.
Good, fantastic. That's going to be awesome. So yeah, and I'm few.
Oh, you're still doing those rewatches.
We haven't gotten as far as you think, man.
Our livers are angry, but we're still doing them.
I need to start drinking then.
Trip said 5 minutes, and I think is that what we got? I think so. Oh wait, we got another super chat from Lyle. Lyle, I thought you were going to have fun with your wife, man. One last thing, Lyle Hammock, $5. I'm about done with Lords of Chaos, and I was wondering, is it book 7 or 8 the so-called slog begins? 7.
Okay,
so I disagree.
Lyle,
I think
Lyle,
so hey, in my channel, shush. And then you guys can get your time in. All right, shush. Path of Daggers is the hardest, besides for Crossroads of Twilight. Crossroads of Twilight, I still believe you can completely skip, which hurts me to say that you can skip a Wheel of Time book, but I found no redeeming. It's been a while since I've reread it because I've skipped it because it's all about. You can skip it, in my opinion. First time you need to read it, but after that, right? Crown of Swords. Excuse me. It's a little of both. It can be a little bit of a slog, but there's some redeeming stuff, including some really cool fight in a really cool place. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's a big event happens in Crown of Swords, which redeems it for me. But I would say the slog begins there. It gets sort of hits peak slog at Path of Daggers in 8 for me. Now, the beauty of it is everybody's got a different opinion. Pips, you go first. Because we'll just go straight down the line because everybody's got a different opinion on it. Some people think none of it's a slog. So, what do you think, Pips?
Yeah, I'm looking at my books behind me here and trying to think through it. So I just started a Crown of Swords on my sort of reread. Man, I want to say that I think you could maybe argue Path of Daggers. I really only think Crossroads of Twilight is probably the only one that I really struggle with on a reread. Because Winter's Heart has got has got some great stuff going on.
I like Winter's Heart.
Yeah, so it's got some great stuff going on in there. So I think, Path of Daggers can be a little bit slow, but it's got some stuff that happens in there. Winter's Heart, I think some of the highlights of the book, it happens in Winter's Heart. So I really only think that it's crossroads of Twilight. And I know Dane is going to say that the slog really has less to do with the books and more to do with the timing of the release of the books.
Hey, don't put words in the man's mouth.
And I kind of agree with him on that. I think the slog is the thing that we inherited from old readers that new readers of the series don't really appreciate. So,
well, yeah. So I haven't audiobooked those two yet either. So I'm working my way there too. So that might help it too. But Mike, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on Dane's team here. I think that when I originally read them, of course, they were spaced out 2 years, 3 years. It kept getting longer and longer. And so you get a new book and you would jump into it thinking it was like it's going to be one of those off to the races things. And then you just hit this, like nothing's happening for so long. And so it's kind of disappointing. And then that imprints on your brain. You're like, God damn it, nothing happens till the end of this book. But if you can go back and reread them where you literally go last page, first page, and you keep going, it's not bad at all. And I would say that people that read it now, as Pips pointed out, if you can go one to the next and binge it, I don't really see too much of a problem. But I agree. Oh man. So I mean, honestly, there's some parts in Eye of the World that were a slog. Like basically, as soon as they leave, they get on the road. The road is what my wife calls it. When it's Matt and Rand, and they're just sitting there forever going on this road. There's slog and everything.
No.
I know Dane is going to disagree, but my wife is struggling with that part of the Eye of the World right now for exactly the same reason. Like I don't view it as a slog.
No, I don't either. I love it.
But I think it's one of those things that, like, when you have the perspective of what really happens in that, and you see how it builds into things, like you can appreciate it. But for a first time reader, I can understand. Like I totally understand the first time reader who like picks up Crossroads of Twilight and is just like, no, I'm done with this series.
Yeah.
I understand it.
No,
I
started there,
The first time readers don't quit on Crossroads of Twilight. It was the old time readers. So here's what I'll say. So if people think there's a slog, so I love the whole going from Whitebridge to Camelin. It's one of my favorite sequences of all the books.
You're talking about Eye of the World,
but I appreciate it's a pacing change. Other people who are reading it for the first time, like the nerdy nightly folks right now, they're getting into the circus part of Fires of Heaven. They're wondering where the hell is Perrin, right?
Lyle, don't forget we're answering Lyle's question, so don't go past 6, please.
So, but
with details,
Dane, control yourself, Dane.
Okay, I will. But this is Fires of Heaven. So Lyle, you're hopefully through that, and okay, it might be a bit foreshadowing of what's to come.
He's in 6,
but as far as a slog goes, that is 100% a term that was ascribed to the books as they came out that didn't really answer a lot of the fan theories. So you have to remember, you got to put yourself in the context. Crown of Swords comes out, I think it's in 96, 97. Path of Daggers comes out either late 98 or early 99. And Path of Daggers is a shorter book. Winter's Heart is a shorter book. Crossroads, they are a shorter book. They're not as long in terms of word count. They took longer because you're beyond where Robert Jordan initially plotted the series out. So not only are they taking twice as long to come out for the readership, they're half the amount. There are certain things that Robert Jordan began to establish in the early books that you don't get in at least 8, 9, and 10. And that is kind of the implicit promise of a big Forsaken duel at the end. So it's book 1, 2, 3, they're all fighting Ishamael. Book 4, you've got a confrontation with Lanfear and Asmodean. Book 5 has the most epic ending with Lanfear again and Ravine. Book 6, that was where the first break kind of happened, where there's no big Forsaken ending. But he kind of breaks from that mold through the slog, and that kind of feels like a broken promise. At least to me, it was when I was going through these initially, where I thought every single book, there's going to be 12 books in the series. He's going to take out a Forsaken per book, kind of thing. So that kind of fell apart, but there were other things, like there were big mysteries, fan theories that were floating around the internet that, had you read the series to its completion, you were fully up to speed on them, and you fully expected that the next volume of the series was going to answer some of that. Right. So what I'm saying about the slog and where this comes from is, so I'd read all the way through The Path of Daggers. The first book I had to wait for was Winter's Heart. I waited about a year and a half, 2 years for that one to come out. I was disappointed most of the way through, but I was satisfied with the ending. I had to wait another 26 months for Crossroads of Twilight, expecting all these mysteries to kind of get addressed, and they weren't.
Right.
That is where the disappointment among the fandom comes from.
Can I get in on that point real quick?
Yeah.
So my wife and my oldest daughter both love this series. Neither one of them has finished it. They both stopped at Crossroads of Twilight. They just stopped and said, "I'm not interested in finishing the series. I cannot get them to go on."
And it's a sad kind of realization. He slowed down. There's an element to it of, did Robert Jordan realize this is his meal ticket, that he was getting paid $1 million up front or more for every book, and he started realized he got paid by the word, kind of like Alexandre Dumas got paid by the word with the Count of Monte Cristo. And what was he just kind of riding it? Did he get bored with his own story, and was he more interested with new characters that got introduced? But
I think he's sort of admitted to that, if I recall right, in sort of Q&A answers, where he was like, yeah, I kind of decided that I wanted to explore some other stuff. So, and I don't really fault him for that either. I mean, it could have been tighter. Again, I think fans can sit and have conversations about things that could be improved or whatever. Yeah. It's just when you decide that you want to try and change somebody else's work that we really have a problem.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I think Al Dance is trying switch them to audio. I think the point is well taken, that you don't have to stop. So it's almost it's a whole coherent story now. So it's like, if you hit this, you just you don't have to stop, and the expectation isn't there that something like earth-shattering is going to happen each book.
And here's something I will say. So when Knife of Dreams came out, that was a bit of a pick-me-up. Like the action improved, but there was still the absence of the resolution of certain mysteries.
Just a bit. Knife of Dreams is great.
It is. It was an improvement, but what I'm saying is you didn't get the resolution for a lot of the mysteries that you'd actually hoped to get resolved.
Yeah.
But when Brandon Sanderson took over, and on a flip side, I think Brandon Sanderson's books from the Wheel of Time series haven't been overly criticized, maybe because of this. Even though he took like a lot of words, those are thick, heavy books with a lot of character POVs and a lot of stuff happening, but it is, strap yourselves in. We are going through all these plot points.
We're going to finish this.
And it's nonstop for 3 straight books. And it's fantastic. There are really, really great passages in it, but it's constant action. And it definitely boosted his own career because of that.
Yes. So I guess real quick, just to go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, agreed. Okay. So I guess the consensus.
No, I was going to say, the pace change when Sanderson took over was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean,
yes,
I guess
the pace change.
You're the benefit. Wow, you're in the benefit of being in a world where all the books are already out and you don't have to wait. So I don't know if Path of Daggers and Swords are going to be slow for you at all. The traditional slog term, a lot of people don't feel it. Some people do. I would just go into it and just enjoy it. I mean, I don't think if you feel it's a little slow, it's a little slow. Just know it picks back up in points, and I'm going to say this, and you guys can feel free to disagree with me before I get to Lau's super chat. If you get bogged down in Crossroads of Twilight, and I take what you're saying, Dane, but if you get bogged down in Crossroads of Twilight, skip it. You're not missing anything. Or
better than that, skim through it, and if you feel like, and if you feel like you missed anything, and Mike, this goes to your wife and daughter as well. If they feel like they missed anything, reach out to the community, reach out to me, reach out on the Discord or whatnot. If there's anything that they don't get, we can point them to fill in.
Oh no, it's not getting. It's just that they just got bored with it. They were just like, "This."
No,
is,
but I think
this
in
is too much.
general,
I get that. There's not a whole lot of plot points that are super important. A lot of people like those books or appreciate those books mostly because they appreciate.
Dane's going roboto.
Yeah.
I think the point about the audiobooks was pretty good. You know,
so
audiobooks, 1.2 or something like that speed. And
yeah,
just
I listen
through
to.
it.
I actually
do work out a lot.
I actually listen to my stuff at like 1.4 and it's still fine. It's a little fast, but you're good, Dane. You're good. So I think the point was like if you get bogged down, you skip Crossroads, and then you go into the next book and you're confused about a point, reach out. We'll all help you. Like anybody could go, oh, this is why this one thing happened in Crossroads of Twilight. And
honestly, I don't see a reason to skip when they're all available.
I'm just saying,
push through.
I mean, you can push through, but if it's that bad, just skip it. I mean, it's the
but
only
you don't
time
have
I'd
to
ever
wait.
say that. That's the only time I'd ever say it because you can go right into the next book. But
I had to wait, and
I
I read the books multiple times between 9 and 10 coming out, and I read the books multiple times between 10 and 11. So you didn't have to go through that. So I take it with anyways, my back kind of stands on end or whatever when people mention about the slog. I'm like, you don't know how good you had it. That being said, we're all still waiting for Winds of Winter. So
no, we're not.
whatever.
It's never
Dane
happening.
stands on his porch and shakes his fists. These kids these days.
Winds of Winter ain't happening, but you're gonna be waiting forever. Lyle Hammock, real quick. Let's get this food. So another one from Lyle Hammock. Also, Dane and Pips. I have this. Oh man, he's got his sword out. I got 3 on the wall, brother. We'll go for
Damn
it.
kids.
Are we getting swords out? Is that what we're doing?
No, stop it. Control yourselves, gentlemen. Jesus, I got 3. All right, it's over. Actually 4. All right. Also, Dane and Pips, I've discovered your watch along for season 1, and I'm loving it. You guys are excellent. So you also keep it up. All right, my wife. So you also keep it up. Oh, so
my
you guys
wife is
keep
going
it
to
up.
box my ears.
I saw keeps it up all night. It's like, whoa, you're getting ready to have some fun.
Hey.
So keep it up.
Loving it.
Comma.
Guys, excellent. So keep it up. So you guys keep up the good work.
Semicolon. Independent clause.
My wife is going to. Well, he might have run out of words, so I get it. My bad reading it. My wife is going to box my ears if I don't get going. See you later. See you later, Lyle. Thank you for the super chats. I hope we answered your question. I think we did. Look forward to. We're going to be doing more of this. Probably going to have a White Cloaks only stream at some point. Which could be interesting.
So canceled.
Yeah, so thank you for coming. I'm glad you got to stop in and keep on reading, man. Can't wait to talk to you about it. I hope you'll come on and talk to me about it. We'll have a you and Aldan one when Aldan's done coding. Feel bad for you, brother. But have fun with your wife. Go, man. Don't get your ears boxed. So real quick, that it should be. I suspect when he was writing 9 and 10, he was focused on getting as much of the books out after that at least outlined due to the illness that affected 9 and 10.
No,
I didn't know when he was diagnosed either. So
I remember reading the blog post about his stuff as they came out. But
he was diagnosed right after Knife of Dreams came out. Yeah. So Knife of Dreams came out in 2005, and within a couple of weeks he got the amblyodiasis.
But it's a fair point to be made that potentially the symptoms of it that led to him seeking medical, diagnosis, right, might have been affecting him.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
never really know.
Well, that's a very fair point. So,
all
right, so
it's more just a little tidbit on this. So prior to his diagnosis, the only thing that the fandom had going was that Robert Jordan had made public statements precisely that he would never let someone else finish his theory or finish his series. And it was precisely because he was worried someone would kill him.
Doing. Oh,
well, no, that someone would basically someone would off him and then force somebody else to basically dive into his notes and finish everything off, because he had already kind of publicly stated that he had written the finale of the series when he started the books, right? That he had plotted and outlined everything. And the one thing that is super clear from the books is that he did so much foreshadowing and early world building. So his comments of, if I die before I complete the series, I'm going down and everything's getting burned, kind of, and it'll never be done. But he did that explicitly to prevent his own assassination, kind of in his own mind.
Well, he would be devastated right now with what they've done to his stuff.
I know, never would have gotten that far. He would not have.
But that's just it.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
The stories of he was working until the day he died on the book series for us.
Yeah.
Right. He felt he owed it to his fandom and the people that cared about his story, and that it would get completed and completed the right way. I believe there are large swaths of the final 3 books, at least the critical high points, that are his prose and his exclusively, and they made it in kind of an unaltered, unedited fashion. Some probably. Of that, it's got to be the final battle between Rand and the Dark One. It's got to be the Veins of Gold chapter, and a few other sections. And it was his legacy, it was his life. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I made this comment, I think, a bit before. The saddest thing about this show is you think about Robert Jordan sitting up in heaven, looking down and wondering, have I been tricked? Am I in hell?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
The only saving grace is, some people are discovering his books because of the show. The show's been an absolute travesty, but some people are finding the books because of it.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that earlier too. So I mean,
it's the only silver lining.
It's sort of Mike's sort of right. I think there's some people that are put off, and some people I think it would, if the show was better, it would be even more. Yeah. But I think it is having an effect. I mean, my kids going, both my sons are going to end up reading it just because. Well, my other son,
you're gonna hold him down, and
when he screamed at Mosh and Shin on the video game, it's like, what the hell is that? I'm like, we gotta read the book. It's like, okay. So go ahead, Mike.
So here's what I'll go. Maybe this shitty show is motivating us as a community of fans more so than a good show would have done.
Yeah. Maybe.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What were you gonna say, Mike? You were saying
I was going to say that the way that I typically do things is the way that you would hope other people do it, which is you watch a really bad show, but there's something there that you're interested in and you want to find out how it should have been. And so you seeked out the original material and you, like I was saying, Shadow and Bone. I'm interested in finding out what was the intention behind that.
It happened with
The
Witcher too.
Witcher as well, yeah. So I have The Witcher on my Kindle actually.
Lord of the Rings is going to pass the Bible after Rings of Power came out. Everybody's going to buy Lord of the Rings to find out what the hell it's really like, right?
I'm glad I have a leather-bound trilogy of that already, because anything with those freaking Amazon logos.
Yeah.
Here's my crappy trilogy right here.
Wait. You have a leather-bound copy of the Bible in a trilogy format?
No.
I mean, I have a leather-bound copy of the Bible.
Yeah, most people only know of the one Bible. I have, all the other ones as well.
The Bible will rule them all. Oh my God! All right, so let's get. We've been going for a while, so let's do this Gawain thing. Otherwise, I'm gonna freaking.
All right, so who do you want to play? What characters? What's the voice acting?
So am I bringing out my talents again? I'm on camera though, so
I could do some voice acting.
Yeah, so
I'm just gonna put on my.
So who should? I don't know who we got left in chat.
Well,
if you're there, who should play who?
Pips with those sunglasses. I think you could play the question mark.
The question marks.
Question mark. You think you could be? Am I going to be the narrator then? I'm not playing a part. Okay.
You're going to be Gowan
if you want. So
see here. Hold on. So let's see. So who wants to be who here? So what? Pips is going to be question mark. So you get to be Ivron is what the speculation is.
It seems like it.
And well, hell, Dane, you've been chopping at the bit. You want to be Gawain or Gowan? I always said Gawain. I don't know why.
Since I am the least liked White Cloak on
Dane
Reddit,
should play Elsa.
Can you?
The questioner is always coming in with a solid.
Dan?
Steve.
What's up? What, Dan? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
I just wanted to get my
Testing.
middle
There we
finger
go.
out of the frame.
You're good,
there.
Mike.
Trip had a good idea. He wants Prophet to go play the most effeminate character, which
Well,
is
so-
a tough pick here.
Well, it depends if Gowan's going to be pitching or catching. Like, we don't know. What the hell was that?
What was that?
When did a demon enter the stream? That
This
was
is-
crazy.
That was
He's
Something's
fully-
happening.
Literally is the demon voice mod.
I think that is OBG.
yeah,
it's
he's messing around. So.
I got the voice mod going.
nice.
Yeah, man, the entire last battle chapter, which is a book
Right.
in itself, Jordan left for Sando. It was already done. Yeah, so that was just part of what Dane said. All right, so am I playing a part or no? We're just gonna
If you
go-
don't want to, we
No.
we
I
already
think- I
saw
think
your
you gotta play
epic
one.
voice acting, but
I mean, me and Mike can do the second half. You want to do the second half, Mike?
I really hate doing voice acting.
All
I
right,
don't.
so-
I
okay,
will
so-
have to use a mod to do it.
You know
so.
what? No, here's what we'll do. We'll
So-
see how Pips and Dane do, and if I have to jump in on the second part and save it.
The problem
with
is I
my-
can't remember what Ivan sounds like from
Who
his
cares? Just make it up.
half a second line.
Who cares? Just make it.
Ju-
I
just remember you-
I am sorry.
Yeah,
I
okay,
actually don't
that's
think
all
he
you
had
gotta
a
do.
whole lot of spoken lines
It
in,
doesn't
matter.
in the show
Just-
or the book.
It's a
but,
made-up character that doesn't mean anything. Just do what you want. Just do what you feel.
Like Maxim a hell of a lot.
All right, go for it. So I would say read out the whole thing, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
you can scroll down when we get through it.
I not are we? I think I tried to get the whole thing. Okay, it's not. So I will scroll down.
Just
when
a
I get
little
to
bit,
it.
yeah.
Gotta limber up.
Yeah, no, you got to stretch. You got to stretch it out. That's what I do before every voice.
Red
acting
leather,
thing.
yellow leather. Red leather,
I get,
yellow leather.
stretch it out. Got to test the. Test the vocal.
Here.
I am Avienda.
This is-
See, it
this
comes
is-
right out.
This is really what I need here. This is the key to good voice acting.
Avienda
Shit,
is.
I'm out.
I'm
Apple
gonna
juice.
nip you. Right, see, that's done. All right, apple juice. Yes. All right, go
All
for
right.
it. I'm ready. Hit it.
No, I'm sorry. I told Alana nobody younger than me.
I'm Gowan Tricond.
The Queen's son?
I brought you breakfast.
Are these raw?
All food is until you cook it. And one for me, if you would.
So, you brought me breakfast, which I'm cooking for you?
Happy to take over for you at the stove, but your stomach won't be. Palace
Oh.
cook tried to teach me lessons once, but we ended up changing the subject matter.
I
They were
assume
fucking.
there's something else I can do for you this morning.
Hand job. Oh,
The
sorry.
last time I shot a bow, I put an arrow through our mistress at arms.
Butthole. Oh, sorry.
Not everyone's a soldier.
Well, happily, I'm an excellent swordsman.
With my
I
penis.
came here to be a warder. I'd like your help. I know what people see when they look at me: rich, beautiful, useless idiot.
Penis.
Are you?
Yes.
I've killed men before. Brigands who tried to kidnap my sister and me. I was 12.
But where were your guards?
They
You
were
added a
our
word. You
guards.
added a word. Not.
He's
it
ad
makes too
libbing.
much
It's
sense.
okay.
Ad libbing.
They
Okay,
were
ad-lib.
our guards.
The
Plan
dialogue was
was-
so bad I had to fix it.
Plan. Are we allowed to ad lib? Because I'd go back to the
Yeah,
beginning for
No,
another.
no, we're not going
All right.
back. We're
And
too
scene.
far.
No, so,
We're too far. Go ahead.
wait. Give me a count. 3, 2, 1. Plan was to ransom my sister as the heir to the throne. I was disposable, so I fell to my knees,
Good job.
cried, begged, snatched a dagger from one of their belts. Should have expected a little deceit and murder. After all, I am a Damodred.
Oh,
As
God.
in Moraine Damodred?
The aunt who ruined my life? But that's a story for another day. Maybe I'll bring you dinner and cook us later. Wait. No,
To-
sorry. I
and
misread
cook
that.
us later and see.
Scene.
Oh my
And-
God. It is so bad. It's not even. It's worse. The
Those
second time I
those
seen
are
it.
literally incoherent lines. Like those are not even two people talking to each other.
yes and no, because
Trip,
but here's the thing.
dude, look at what I'm working with. I mean, they left
No,
out all the
that-
penis lines. All that was left out.
Trip,
I mean,
Trip, that
Gowan is
wasn't Steve's
obviously-
fault as director. There's not much he could have done. And in fairness, as gay as I tried to make that with the hand job gestures and everything else, I don't think this scene is as gay as it'll appear in the show.
All right, my son is here.
Call me
behave.
crazy.
I just said the P word like 4 times. I didn't know my son was in chat on vacation. I'm in deep trouble.
Wait. Your son watched this? Prophet Jr.
My son's right there. Eastertron Games. That's my son. He's
Easton.
fine. He's seen worse. He has seen much worse. Don't worry about it.
He's been on TikTok.
He's been everywhere. Don't worry about it. He's good. He's fine.
As long as
Easton?
everywhere includes those White Cloaks rewatches, that's where the real curse words come out.
Easton, don't watch the rewatches. Read the books. That get off of normal media. That
Yes.
read some good wholesome fantasy
See,
series.
even Heath.
Let's go into
the
the next section here. I want to hear Prophet go through here and really church this up for us. Show us how it's done.
What, you want me to read it again?
The scene two.
So scene 2.
Oh.
Well, do you want to go over scene 1 first? I'll read scene 2. If you want to
Okay.
read
Yeah.
scene
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Scene one first.
So where you guys want to start? You guys go for it. I'm
Wait,
trying to.
are we breaking this down line by
Easton
line?
says he does not watch TikTok. It's all good.
Thank-
guys.
Thank God, Easton, you're 1 in a million.
He's the best. He is the best. All right. So I don't even know. I would rather you guys say your piece because I made my video. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about how terrible this whole thing is.
What?
Actually, I have to use the restroom real quick. So if you guys will just go for it, I'll be right back.
Nice.
What can I say about this scene that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan? Looks bombed out and depleted.
And filled with
Sorry.
heroin.
Sorry, the Chappelle Show. Fantastic cultural icon. Man, this is bad. Like, I don't even know what to say. None of this is from the source material at all.
Well,
So,
it's you
I don't know,
need
Mike,
to
what
imagine
do
a
you-
conversation between Show Ivan, who has a bow and arrow,
God.
and the worst character in the books multiplied by the worst character in the show.
Yeah, who,
OBG.
this is just trash writing. I mean, it's just like this is a junior high school kid that wrote this. I think.
Not even.
It's non sequitur after non sequitur. Like the
happy-
characters don't talk to each other.
Happy to take over you at the stove. Happy to take over you at the stove.
It was hard
What?
to read. It was literally hard to read. Like, I injected a word because like it didn't make sense that a person would say it the way that they had it written.
And yeah, I'm happy to take over from you at the stove, but your
Right.
stomach won't be. Like, that would be semi-proper English, but it would still suck. You take those words out, and it just sucks.
I'm just stunned.
The palace cook tried to give me lessons once, but we ended up changing the subject matter. Like, that doesn't even make sense or foot either, right? Because you don't change the subject when you're in a lesson.
True.
What
Good
did I
point.
miss? Sorry, what part are you talking about?
They were just asking me what my thoughts, and I just was saying I can't even get past how badly it's written. Yeah.
It's so
basically the writers of this show are Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons being like, me fail English, that's impossible.
Well, it's the only thing
Right.
that keeps me from thinking, like, because I know it keeps coming up and I keep quantifying it. I keep saying, I understand this is an audition script. Okay. So the possibility that it's not in the show, it's there. Okay.
But you don't get actors to
personal-
audition with shit English.
These are tailored to these characters. Why would you have these weird, like, why wouldn't you do something at least relating to something the character would do? It's obvious Gawain is going to be a certain way from this dialogue. They wouldn't have him saying this dialogue, even if this dialogue is not in the show. He's acting a certain way because that's how they want him to act in the show. So even if that dialogue is not there, they're trying to see if Gay Gowan, it can be, played by whoever.
And just the dialogue itself. Well, happily, I'm an excellent swordsman. That's not something Gawain would say.
Here's a nefarious thought.
He actually, he didn't. That's a really good point to bring out. He didn't actually think that he was very good at much of anything. He was always like, Galad is a good swordsman. I'm kind of shit. Is like his whole thing. He's very down on himself. He's kind of a sort of down puppy.
Negative Nancy. Here's a more nefarious thought, kind of higher level, right?
And well, hold on. Sam McCabe says, as an editor in training, this script gives me brain ache. Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead, Dane.
So my thought here is, and it's just coming to me after a lot of drinking, but it'll be good. Don't worry. This is how I reach my higher functions.
Okay.
If their motivation isn't actually hiring the best actor, right?
Right.
The person who performs the best with the written material, it's just basically we have a checkbox for someone with what they should look like, so we can hit those ESG scores or hit the representation.
Yes.
The way to do that and basically cover your ass is to be like, well, here are all the audition tapes from all the actors who came in and read. And so long as they all sound and look terrible, then you can justify your choice. Hence, we need to produce them an incomprehensible script to read from. Because fucking Daniel Day-Lewis could come in and read this, and he could read this to a T, and he would still suck.
Yeah, no, well, that's yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I'm a lot more pessimistic even that, though. I think that the people that got to audition had to pass through a litmus test themselves. They were sifted. They didn't get to the point where they got to walk in and
Daniel
give the
Day-Lewis
audition.
and Daniel Day-Lewis never stooped down to this show either.
Another Mazrim Taim from Lord of Chaos thing quote there. Sift enough sand. Is that what you're saying, OBG 70?
Well, yeah, I just think that before they even get to walk through the door, it's like, okay, we want to know your Facebook and your Twitter and your Instagram and all these things, and we're going to check all your background, what you've been up to, what kind of activism you're a part of. Do you have the Black Lives Matter flag on your profile? Do you have the gay, rainbow flag?
Maybe there's a heightened sensitivity after what happened with Barney Harris and the whole Matt thing. Maybe they're going kind of deeper in terms of scrutinizing people's past history.
Well,
but it's more to the point. If it ever comes back up, it's like, why didn't you hire a better actor for said role? And they look at the audition tapes. The best way to cover your ass is to basically have the audition tapes be people spouting nonsense, and therefore it's impossible to make an objective decision about who said these lines correctly, because the lines themselves were utter trash and just utter nonsense.
Well, I mean, Mike, you might be. I mean, I didn't know that until you brought it up about Rand, the character, the actor.
Yeah, Joshua, whatever. It's just something.
Joshua Stradowski has just been in gay Dutch movies from the start.
So
I blame the Polish side of him rather than the Dutch side, but that's because I'm racist.
So I mean, maybe there's something to that way of thinking, but I mean, it's just so atrocious, even if you don't break down what they're saying.
Well, when the original Aminsfield 5 was announced, I immediately, within seconds, I went to check out all their social media, and they were all really, really hardcore activists, right down to it. I don't know if they scrubbed a little bit of it clean to try to get past people like us, but it was really bad. And I said, okay, yep, that's what I thought. And I was so disheartened I didn't do videos for a couple months.
Yeah, so. I didn't look that deep into it. Like, I was still on the hope train until the first episode came out, so I wasn't looking for problems yet. But Sam McCabe says real quick, there's a difference between what you know is true and what you can prove is true. Diversity hires blur that line between agenda and talent. I think that's absolutely true. 100%. So I don't know. So I mean, so if real quick, just before we go on to the second part, who's
reading the second part?
Apparently I am, and that's fine with me. I just want just from a lore standpoint here, if this is true, obviously lore of the books is not.
I mean, there's no lore to discuss here. This is just a made-up whole clause.
But my question I recall it's like Prophet wanted to know a bit of the background of Gowan's connection with House Damodred, right?
Yes, so that's the main thing that because I know they're both Damodreds, at least now I do. For some reason I thought that Galad and Gowan, I'm sorry, I thought one of them was connected to her loosely, but it was never made a thing. right? Because Moraine's
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys.
She's Moraine's to die. It's one of those that she doesn't, So I'm more interested about like, obviously they're creating false drama here. If this is really in the show,
that's what I was going to ask these guys. I figured they knew more than me.
But Dane, go ahead. Obviously, it sounds like you know a good way to explain this.
So from New Spring and a lot of the other books, so what gets established is that King Layman was a Layman Damodred, king of Cairhien, and he was the one who chopped down Aven de Lordera and precipitated the Aiel War that came across the Dragon Wall. But where it becomes relevant for Rand is that Moraine Damodred's half-sister was Terengale Damodred.
Right.
And Terengale Damodred was married to Tigraine.
Right.
And Terengale Damodred and Tigraine had a son together, and that was Galad.
Okay.
Then Guitarra Moroso had her foretelling and told what's her name? Tigraine that she Tigraine Mantir that she needed to cross the spine of the world and join the Maidens of the Spear, or else unbelievable evil would befall the world and the world would cease to exist. At the same time, Guitarra Moroso was also the one who whispered into Laman's ear to cut down Aven de Lordera and start the whole Aiel War.
And told Luke to go to the Blight. Yeah.
That too. So Tigraine had a brother, and that was Lord Luke, who you'll see has come back as Slayer and whatnot.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Well,
that's
spoilers. Before book 4, like if anyone's been doing,
I guess, he's close to Slayer. But
Luke met Ism in the Blight. You should be able to get this by book 4. Anyways, further spoilers. When it became clear that Morghese of House Trakand was going to succeed on the Lion Throne, part of so this was where Elida's whole foretelling about the
royal line of Andor
would be key to the last battle. This is where this gets ambiguous, but she secured the Lion Throne in part by marrying back into Terengale Damodred, and they had 2 kids. And the first was Gawain. The second was Elaine, who were half-siblings of Galad, but unrelated to Rand, who is conceived and ultimately born on Dragonmount between Tigraine and Janduin of the Aiel.
But still technically related to Moraine. So that is canon.
No, so Rand is not related to Moraine.
No. I'm talking about Gawain. This line about his aunt, Moraine Damodred.
Gawain is related to Moraine. Galad is. So is Elaine. They're all kind of related to Moraine and House Damodred. Rand is not. Rand's father and Gawain's father, they're Eskimo bros.
Okay.
They're not actual Eskimo bros in the books. However, the show establishes they probably might also be.
I think that was an insight from the rewatch there, Dan. That Gawain and Rand are now Eskimo brothers.
Rather than being Eskimo cousins, and maybe that's gonna explains their antagonism a little bit more.
Okay, so it's there, but it's one of those that was never pursued in the books at all, and it's really should not even matter.
And it's more that so Moraine's own father was the least political of the Damodreds, right? He was the scholar. He was the one who like the royal library. He was not the violent one. He didn't even succeed to the throne. And Terengale was a bit of a political animal. His ambition was to use Morghese to secure both the crowns of Andor and Cairhien. But when Tom Maryland found out that he was using Morghese for his own ambitions, organized his own death in a hunt. So we got that. So,
all right. Well, thank you.
I don't know how many lines that was, Prophet, but what's that? Like one sort of canon line about the lineage of Gawain and Margaret.
I mean, it's sort of canon too, but it's like the worst it's not even
at all that.
Yeah, out of all
So
that,
all of that is just bullshit.
and then you throw in
Oh,
the mistress at arms in Camelin. So you know,
The
of course.
mystery at arms. Oh
So,
man.
give me a break. So, but here we go. So let me read the second part because we're approaching
Wait.
3 hours. So
Do you want me to play Gowan again?
sure,
No,
go for it.
I thought it was gonna be Prophet and Mike here.
No, Mike's not going to
Mike-
voice that.
I could, but
No,
you
no,
know.
it's okay.
Oh,
Mike.
come on,
I don't
Mike.
wanna
You
force
can
it.
you
I
can
don't
do
wanna-
at least as good as I did. Come on.
All right, who am I going to be? The question mark.
Yay! You can be whoever you want, Mike. You go. You want Gowan or the question marks?
I'll be going because at least I can.
There you go.
There's a lot of dialogue a little bit down though.
Oh yeah.
Oh god damn!
Let
Help
be
me.
Gowan. I'll be Gowan. You be
A
question
real
marks.
exposition
okay.
bomb. Real
I
exposition
totally
bomb.
forgot
That
about
one
this.
is-
This freaking. Oh my god! All right.
I could do
Okay,
the
here we
voice changer as well.
that's
do
classic.
it.
That's good.
For Gowan, are you
That's
going to be
good.
Gowan or the question
No,
mark?
I'll be
No,
the other.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
All
good.
right.
Gowan
All right, here we
doesn't
go.
have that deep of a
Stretching.
voice. Come on.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. I'll start. Here we go. You gonna set this
I'm
place on
muting.
fire?
No, but trust me, I'm not going to let those Trollocs get their hands on any of this.
Do Trollocs drink?
Not concerned about that, brother? Question mark for some reason?
What? If he gave a toss about me, he'd be here, wouldn't he?
He know you were here at an empty bar in the middle of the morning as city's preparing to be sacked.
Yes, he would, because we're psychically connected. Oh, wait, sorry. You've heard the story about Ishmael, right? I've gone. Why the hell is he talking? The last dragon shit. God damn it. The last dragon's best friend.
Stick to the dialogue, Prophet.
I'm sorry. I'm messing it up.
Everyone knows that story.
Do they? Okay, sorry. My mom always used to tell it to me over and over again. Ever since I was teeny tiny, she talks about the other Forsaken sometimes. But Ishmael, that was one she thought I needed to know. She said, "Some men take it up. Some men are born weak and take it. They got something broken. This is more gays. They got something broken inside of them. Sorry, like
Yeah, she
per-
talks like
Broken
a
off
tavern
inside of
whore.
him?
penis inside of them. What?
Well, it
And
broke off.
yeah, could have. Yeah. Focus. And the day of the day the last dragon went to face the boar. When he needed his best, what is the boar a creature now? When the last dragon,
Tighten up, Prophet.
I'm sorry, I'm losing it here. And the day the last dragon went to face the boar, when he needed his best friend most, Ishmael sold him out to the Dark One himself, just like on a CW drama. Everyone always said it was for more power, but my mom, the Queen of Andor, she said it wasn't that. She said it was because Ishmael was, I'm not going to say it, was one of these men who needed others to be weak to make himself strong, and I was too.
He was a power top. Is she right?
Yes, he is a power top. I know. Oh, save the last one for me, will ya? There you go. Scene. So
One of those men.
One of the
who needed
some
others.
of the
Not-
you know what, Mike? We should take
Yeah.
this on the road. We should hit Ohio
Mhm.
right now. We should take this script with us and we'll just read it outside with like a hat out and see how much money we make.
I don't think you could because people would be correcting your English probably every other line.
Well, I love how Gowan is calling his mom the Queen of frickin' Andor mum. She is also
She's the queen, Mum, Gov. She's gonna speak with an accent, yo.
and I love how they're not even talking to each other. It's like they're having two separate conversations half the time.
It's non sequitur after non sequitur.
Do Trollocs drink? Nobody gives a fuck. Not concerned about your brother. It's like, where did that come from? You don't care about your brother. How about you say, my brother doesn't need my help. He's Galad, master swordsman, and freaking badass. Like,
If he gave a toss about me, I don't like. So they're trying to be English, but they don't even understand English idioms.
this part is so like it's worse. It's so far worse than the.
I mean, even like bar. Like I've never heard the expression bar in all of Wheel of Time. Right? It's a tavern. It's an inn. It's something like that. So I'm not sure where bar comes from.
Up on a rewatch about them using the term beer. Also, never shows up. It's ales. It's all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the insertion of not self-insertion, Dane. Calm down. Of
I'm
modern
just trying to
language.
correct my lighting. No, but OBG, how many times do you think beer as a beverage is mentioned in all of Wheel of Time?
I would say, between -1 and +1.
Yeah,
nailed
bang
it.
on, because it's +1. It happens once, but it's in a Brandon Sanderson.
It's
book,
in the Sando. It's in the Sandoverse. Yeah.
And it's a throwaway line about ugly beer when Matt and Brigitte are discussing how to defeat the golem. So is
it she that says it?
It's Matt's internal monologue.
Because they both have like memories of their previous selves.
They do, but
so it might be beer from a previous.
But more than anything, it's an editorial slip.
So real quick,
that's what it is. Is basically if the editors were catching it, they would basically say, "Beer."
Well, no, I remember that exactly, and I was thinking at the time that they both have memories that are longer than the time period, so they may have a similar time frame where beer is a word that was used to describe some sort of a drink, and between the two of them, they knew what they were talking about. That's how I interpreted it at the time. I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're just being more generous than I would have been, because I'm saying that this is an editorial slip of people who should have caught that and basically said, Brandon, thanks for writing this. Well done. But if you say beer here, it's the first time in 4 million words
they don't care
that beer has actually been uttered.
They don't care.
Gotcha.
They don't care. Our poll's done. 5 Minutes in Heaven won by 50%.
Nice.
Just saying. Good stuff. So,
on the winning side.
If you do the Daniel Green one, you just have to go in with like a root, a branch or something, and hold it up.
Green got three votes, so it's not uninteresting, but everything got a vote. I was sort of surprised. We got some good 10 votes on it. So, but no, I take the beer thing, but it's like, I mean, in this fucking thing of shit right here. I mean, if you think they care about beer or ale, and you're looking at this,
they don't care.
It's like it's a beer. But they have a linguist.
I want to know who the boar is. I'm looking forward to finding out who they cast for the boar.
They got a linguist to do hand talk, but they can't get the
is the boar male or female?
The boar.
That's important to know.
Fuck this show.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like and then they refuse. That's part of why the last dragon stuff. What happened? What did I miss?
Nothing. I was just wondering if the boar was a front hole or a back hole.
Oh no! Jesus Christ, guys!
Oh man!
And Prophet, you're canceled.
Is there another one of these scenes? Is there a scene 3? I can't.
No,
remember.
that's it. This is it.
Okay.
I think that was it.
God.
But I mean, thank God there can't be. This just speculating on.
Oh, there's analysis. Let's see what this.
You want to see the analysis?
Said for analysis.
I will read the analysis.
Oh,
well,
man.
we don't know for
the
sure.
analysis is mostly concluding it was Ivan.
Yeah. Well, here I'll read it real quick. The mention of Alana and Gowan's desire to improve his bow skills, because warders use bows, leads us to believe that he may be talking to Alana's warder Ivron. In the first one, Ivron's preferred weapon during the season was a bow.
Can I hop in here?
Yeah.
So I thought of this. You covered this in on your channel already, right? I just want to point out that warders having a preferred weapon of a bow is
ridiculous,
just asinine and ridiculous, right? Well, first of all,
robbing from Brigitte.
The warder's job is to protect the Aes Sedai. So a defensive weapon is really what they're supposed to be doing, right? Because anything offensive, if it's a situation where the Aes Sedai is actually permitted to kill, which they don't let their warders just kill people in situations that they couldn't, right? So if it's a situation where offensive weapons could be employed. The one power is so much better than a bow and arrow. Like this is just absolutely ridiculous. So we don't see any orders in the entirety of the book using anything other than a sword, because a sword is like the ancient equivalent of close quarters combat. Like that's how you fight and defend something.
I see Dane's gonna jump in with Brigitte, but I don't know how much Brigitte counts.
She's not a real.
She doesn't. She's unique, right? In a lot of ways. So
yeah, but it's preposterous.
Maybe,
he should know how to shoot.
Show in season 2 starts going into more female warders. That would be another cardinal sin. But it's like, all right, you already robbed from her that she's like an archer and a warder.
Well, look, a warder should be a master of most weapons, but
true,
they're not going to choose a bow. They're not even going to carry.
Well, if Matt taught us anything, it should be a quarterstaff.
Well, but I would assume a warder has trained with all weapons in case they are disarmed and they need to grab a weapon. Mm-hmm. But the preferred weapon is going to be their. Well, they are a weapon, right? Hand to hand, everything. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that all types of combat they've practiced it. Their preferred weapon is a sword, not two dainty little axes or some bullshit like that, or a sword and a shield. They use a sword. They got their cloak, which of course they couldn't freaking get in the show either. The cloak is a tool. Like that's the thing too. The cloak is a tool for a warder. I mean, it helps them. It's So,
are we going to see more female warders?
Yes,
by chance.
Guaranteed.
100%.
I just speculated about that.
So here, let me just. So we're done with this Gowan thing, right?
I imagine somebody wearing tight leather with like throwing knives, and that's their thing, is they throw knives.
So here's because and you know why? Because I think that's another reason why they didn't gender the one power. Is so now women can be. There's no the whole Ashaman. Sorry, spoilers. Ashaman and female. Them basically
the reverse warder bond, right?
Right.
That is one of the best freaking arcs, and I just brought this up. And again, full spoilers. If you don't want to know about this, stop now. But let's just compare and contrast how well Pavara and Andral interact with each other, or team up together in the last battle.
Well, and
use that as
Narishima,
Narishima
and his Narishima. Is it Narishim? I always freaking.
I call him Narishma.
Narishma is how I say it. Yeah.
Narishma and his warders, right? He's got 2, didn't he?
No, he bonded to an Aes Sedai.
He's one.
I mean, he uses freaking Calendor with his. I mean, come on, what the fuck are we talking about?
Well, at least at the last battle, or sorry, not the last battle, at the cleansing. But Narishma got bonded by Maurice, and he didn't bond her back.
He didn't bond her back. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a double bond, whereas the whole Pavara and Andral
is the only double bond we see.
Was a double bond. But you hold that up in contrast to that is men and women working together. You can't
triple stamp a double stamp, so it's.
but those are the two. That's the example of men and women working together, right? So there's section upon section within the last battle chapter of those two, and they're the ones who start communicating to each other telepathically, and they actually achieve a lot, right? They find the seals again, and they bring them back to the side of light, and they sway the battle. And it's in part, I dislike Andral because he took away so much from Logain, but that's neither here nor there. What Sanderson's obviously building up is, here is a man and a woman working together as well as they can, as tight as they can, and this is where you find success. And it's an obvious foil to how poorly Egwene and Gowan work together in the last battle.
Yeah.
So hold on. So Sam McCabe says, so women can now go mad with the one power. Amazon won't do that. So no, it's now men that are tainted. So the men are tainting the one power. So women are pure, so they can't taint it. So it's not the power. It's not Sidene that is tainted. It's men.
You just have to bring it down.
Toxic masculinity.
It's
well,
what's element.
What's interesting is when they had that Luz Theron part of whatever episode that was, where he was in the beginning of the episode 8. The subtitles mention Sidene. So
well, no, it's not. He says Sidene, but it's Sidene is one power.
Oh, but the subtitles did not say it. That's what
the subtitles said your power.
Yeah. Saidin,
But you can clearly hear him saying the word.
Oh no, he says
Yeah.
Saidin, and
yeah.
I think that's why he said it. They just put it in there to be like,
clearly
said
hear
Saidin.
it.
We know what it is.
He talks gibberish for 3 minutes, and everybody's gonna kind of miss on it, what it means.
Yeah.
But it was more that when Rafe was in a Reddit Ask Me Anything, and people were very concerned about how shitty the show was going to be, he placated a lot of people who were already asking after 3 episodes, like,
by saying Saidin was going to be in the show.
Is this magic system even bifurcated? He said, "Don't worry, Saidin gets mentioned by the end of the show." So he lied broadly, but he didn't lie specifically.
Rand uses
because he's a piece of shit.
Rand uses female Terran or is it Sangral or is it just an Angral?
It's
supposed to be his fat little man that he carries around, but it
right? I mean, she's been using it the whole time, so she uses so they're done.
No, so
but
the Saw Angreal in the show, and we went through this in the rewatch. The only thing that the collective brain power of Pips and Alex and myself and Sneed, we got Sneed in, so that's like half of the collective IQ points here. Let's do a proper shout out to our Lord Captain Commander. The only thing that made sense was that the magic system was ungendered, because if it was gendered, why would Moraine carry around the fat little man device and then still think that the dragon could be a man or a woman? Because she bore it around the whole time. Moreover,
or
why didn't she ever use it?
Angreal work for both sides, but then that's the problem: is that why didn't she ever use it?
Yeah.
So it's then maybe it's their one-offs. Maybe Angreal and Sangreal in the show are just one-offs. Like
it's bad all the way around.
So it's a single-use magic item, but that gets established too. Well,
it can't be because she uses that gateway to go, scissor with Suan. So
that's a Tur Angreal. Maybe Tur means you can use it more than once.
Tur means multiple.
Tur means turd. Yeah.
Whereas Saw means 100 times, but only once.
Whatever.
And could.
Oh, so bad. So Aldan says real quick. So, dude, so far we've had all female tower guards, which is funny as hell. They don't realize that there's a standing army in Tar Valon full of men. So tower guards in Tar Valon, all female Borderlands guards. We're gonna get a bunch of BS female warders for sure.
Don't forget the army of Manetheren was men and women.
Yeah, that too. 50-50, like Amazon's Lord of the of Rings of Prime. Or Rings of Prime is going to be 50-50 Numenorians, right? So real quick, that it shouldn't be Sam McCabe. I see you wanted to say something, Mike.
Shaking his head.
No, I'm just it gets me pissed off. I
want you to get it out. Give me a sec. Just breathe.
No, I can't. It's just the whole thing. It's all of it. Everything you guys are saying.
It's cathartic. Get it out.
You can only reason with evidence. The process of reason requires evidence. I think what you're trying to say is that some things you understand to be true instinctively and others deductively.
Induction versus deduction.
So
Aldan's the man.
Thank you, Aldan, for $10. All hail the Lord Dragon. Hold on one second. Let me read this.
I'm sorry.
All hail the Lord Dragon. Damn right. This is for the voice performance lads. Plenty great stuff. If you want us to give you more money, I'll get Avienda out. Okay.
You know what, Steve?
Awesome.
To be fair, I think that
profit
you owe that $10 all to Mike. You owe it all to Mike with the
It's true, Mike. What were we going to say, Mike? I'm sorry for what I was.
I was just going to. You probably don't know this, but I mean, when the show was announced, like originally, this was before Rafe was even attached. I planned to make a YouTube channel dedicated to Wheel of Time. This is when Daniel Green had a couple hundred people. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was looking at everything and I thought, okay, this would be a good idea. I should make a Wheel of Time channel. Obviously, that didn't work out. I didn't ever get around to it. But when the show actually, when the cast was announced, when all this stuff, when Rafe Judkins, who I knew from Survivor, was attached to it, I was so upset. And I knew exactly where this was going. The red flags were immediate. And I said, I just cannot do it. I canceled all my plans. I still have the channel, I think, but it's no one's ever been on it. I gave up and I said, forget it. And it wasn't until the show came out that I had to vent. And that's what you guys were talking about a second ago. I had to vent, or I was going to just maybe be end up on the news after killing my entire neighborhood or something.
Well, I think we found. I think we were talking about before you got done with what you were doing. Is that's how we found each other? Is because this need to get it out.
I wanted to live streams. I didn't want to make videos because videos were just 4-5 hour videos where it was ranting, and I would have to go back through it and edit it, and I couldn't. So I said I need to live stream, and I searched like who could I live stream with, and I had to go through all the shills until I got to Corey Salty Texas C and found him and said, "Hey, Corey, we should do a live stream together," and that's what started it all.
Yeah,
we found Zach, we found you, we found all everybody.
No, it was better for it because at least I know I'm not.
Because a live stream, you could just go. You don't have to edit it. You don't have to worry about it. You just rant, and that's really helped.
So I just want to make it so Sam. So I'm going to read this and then just real quick, and then you guys, if you want to add in, if the magic system is ungendered, why do we only see men going mad? Makes no sense. If it's ungendered, women should be going mad too. So I just real quick,
men are corrupt.
It's not the power, it's the men. So in the show, what they're saying is the Dark One cursed men. So there's something wrong with men that makes the power dirty.
You have to remember these people all took gender studies.
It's toxic. Spoiler, it's toxic masculinity.
Hold on to it, guys. The women are not corrupt or tainted. The Dark One tainted the men for fighting the 100 companions, sealing him up. The backstroke was against the men only and made all men in turn corrupt and tainted. The women are still pure. So when the men go to channel, it's not the power that's corrupt, it's the men that are corrupting the power. Therefore, when the women channel, it's still pure because they are pure. That is how the magic system works in the Amazon Prime show, The Wheel of Time.
Except for maybe a week of every month where women are not allowed to channel.
And yes, it makes no sense, dude. You are absolutely correct. It's stupid. It's terrible. It makes no sense. It's just easier to have Saidin and Saidar and let them accomplish shit together when they get like it. Sorry, I'm not going to go off in this. I almost just spoiled some stuff. I'm not going to do that, but
that's all right.
There's no reason not to have Saidin Sardar. It's the whole reason the ancient Aes Sedai symbol is what it is. You got the black half, you get the white half because yin and yang and Saidin Saidar. That symbol means what made nothing the book
successful, right? Yeah. Like the sort of like unique binary magic system is what made Wheel of Time kind of stand out. It was doing something that other genre fiction hadn't been doing. And they're trying to turn it into the most generic, just uninteresting fantasy series that they can.
So the most telling comment for me is it's Brandon Sanderson explaining his role as a producer, and what got him on with the whole "it's new turning of the wheel" thing was the admission from Ragnar that there was no way that I could do the books justice. Or I don't even think Ragnar used the word justice. It's like, there's no way I could do these books faithfully. And what I'm worried is that Brandon Sanderson took that comment as to say, these books are so big, there's so much in them. There's just no way I could condense this down into a television format.
Just bullshit. Toby.
I know, but that's what Brandon Sanderson heard, right? Was I cannot do this faithfully, and Brandon Sanderson heard there are constraints via the medium that he's trying to tell the story, and that's why these changes are happening. But what Ragnar meant to say,
you two got that.
You too. Damn.
What Ragnar?
This is all you need to do that.
Yeah.
It's the storyboard of the damn show.
What Ragnar meant to say is, I cannot do this story because I fundamentally disagree with its major themes and story and plot points.
Yep, because I'm untalented and don't like it. I can make it better.
I'm an untalented.
He's untalented, but that's incidental. The key thing is that he disagrees with the story, which means he's fundamentally not a fan of the series, and he'd rather push his own agenda because there are more important things for him.
Look, Sanderson, I'm not going to go off. Sanderson is,
He's too positive, and he heard what he wanted to hear, at least up front.
He wants to get all his stuff done, and he's playing the game, and he's too nice, and he's not going to say anything bad. He's just not going to, and it's one of those.
Half his income comes from Kindle sales, right?
I partitioned myself off from his content on YouTube because I want to be able to read his books because I enjoy his books. Sorry,
I have an interesting fun fact. Rafe Judkins is Mormon. Brandon Sanderson is Mormon. I don't know if that means anything, but
Rafe Judkins is ex-Mormon because he sucks dick, which means he can't.
Well, he was doing that when he claimed to be Mormon as well, in one of his interviews on Survivor.
When he got caught,
but my point is that they, he talks about how he loves being Mormon and he wants to do the family life and have children and sit around the table playing board games and all these kinds of things, but of course he didn't specify. I'm sure he wants to do that. This was not so far. This was not so long ago, and So I wonder if there's something else.
I'm gonna try it. Tobias again. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, Prophet. I'm very sorry for Dane and I getting your stream canceled.
I don't think you have. We're good. I think we'll see in a minute. We're fine. Trust me, we're good. The support's been crazy, so I'm thrilled with you guys. It's been fantastic. So, but is that a new mic, Dane? Look at you. Doviande said Tobias
again. It's really flashy. Look at this. I can shut myself up.
Finally, somebody could do it.
Keep going. Keep going.
He can't burn bridges. Yes, I think that's the number one thing for Sanderson. I'm just ignoring. Yeah, there you go, Dane. Come on. Calm down. That
was for Pips.
Dude, I can do it too. There you go. All right.
I got a button right here as well. Watch. Fuck, I hate these people. They're a bunch of fucking assholes. Yeah. I got to get off this fucking stream. There we go.
Yeah.
I like your button. Your button works.
Yeah, my button works good.
But yes, you're right. You're right, Dovey.
Am I unmuted yet? Or
you're unmuted?
Yeah.
We're just ignoring you.
All I saw is I've been muted by Steve, and I haven't seen the.
You're seeing things. I haven't done nothing. What?
No, wait. All I see is constantly the host has muted your mic.
I haven't done anything to you. You've drunk too much. You're seeing words. All right, I'm screwing with you, Dane. I was having fun.
It's fantastic.
So Dovey, you're right. He can't burn bridges. You're unmuted, Dane. I won't do it again.
Prophet is showing me how I need to do a better job of running the White Cloak streams. I need to mute Dane.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
we want to lose subscribers, maybe Pips, but oh well.
Oh hey, night, buddy. Sorry. So when we've been going at this for now almost 3.5 hours. Pips, man, thank you for being a soldier, dude. But we're gonna wrap it up. I may be doing this more consistently on Wednesdays. We'll see. There seems to be a void in some content in our sphere on Wednesday, so maybe I'll try and fill it. We'll see if I can pull it off. But Pips, go ahead. What you guys got going on at White Cloaks? I guess it's gonna be a little repetitive because you and Dane are from the same crew, but what you guys got going on here before we end the show?
I'll let Dane answer. He knows better what the schedule for us is.
So what we did is we just capped off a recap of episodes 2 and 3, which so we did a recap of the rewatch of episode 1, but 2 and 3 were kind of like devoid of content. We had a lot of guest reviewers on. We beat it totally to death, but I think we still managed to yak for an hour and a half about things we might have missed, although a lot of that I think was White Cloak's logistics from one particular scene where I got a little bit too anal. But next week we're gonna have Kala Aldin on for the first part of episode 4, and this is obviously where the show starts to really dive down. We might have a bit of a summer break, but we're hoping to have Nathan the Man of Manetheren on for a mid episode 4 section. And then the finale, the Super Saiyan, the big Nynaeve reveal as being the most ultimate channeler. We got you, buddy. You're going to be our guest reviewer for that. So that's our July planned out. So we'll have that up. And at the same time, Pips and Alex and I, we're plotting other types of additional content, whether it's lore deep dives, bloopers, shorts, reviews of rating scores, etc. There's a couple other things we're kind of keeping in, but we're trying to keep it mostly Wheel of Time. So yeah, I think we got a full filming schedule, and that's kind of what's up with us.
Cool. Sounds good. So, well, thank you both for coming. Like I said, Pips, you've been on here for 3.5 hours almost with me. I appreciate it. I'm not, maybe it's because you got the sunglasses on and about 2 bottles of bourbon in you, but I appreciate you coming, Dane. Thanks for coming in on the backside. Mike, you too. Mike, what you got going on, my man? You're a busy dude. I know you got your hand in a lot of cookie jars. So what you got going on, my friend?
Yeah, Monday nights I have my Asian culture, cinema, manga, anime, all that channel going on. It is at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And then on, let's see what else we have. On Fridays, I'm thinking about doing a normal show where it's called OBG 70 After Dark. We're about 9:15 my time and 12:30 everybody else's time. I'm going to be doing something. We just had a really great show this last Friday where I started talking about Legend of the Seeker. And next thing I know, you got Salty Texas Sea coming on, and Zach's came on, and I had Wakakashi's Tea House, Gray, he came on. And it just kept more people came on. I think I had more people in the panel than were actually watching the show. And it was just a chill stream. We had fun. It went on for like almost 4 hours by the time we were done. And I'm going to do that more often. Saturday nights, I have Sci-Fi and Fantasy Saturday nights. So I do that with my co-host Adam over on the Renaissance Nerds channel. And then Sunday we have the roundtable, and then background Monday again. So I have holes in my schedule to fill. I was thinking about doing something every night of the week, but
Dude,
OBG, yeah. Quick question. You know the Renaissance Nerd?
Adam, yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. So I gave him a quick shout out in one of our early rewatch episodes, but he was one of the first guys that I at least saw taking down Wheel of Time show, and liked his stuff, and I honestly really appreciated his passion. So love to get in contact with him if he'd be interested for
he's not on Twitter. He's the rennerd@gmail.com, so he's easy to get in contact with. He loves to have people come on, and especially when this all comes back around again for season 2. We're gonna be doing a lot of Wheel of Time stuff. So
no, I'd love to get him plugged into kind of our early rewatches, but
I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be interested. So
fantastic.
I remember Render was one of the first ones that I noticed too, him and Salty, and I think I was on his roundtable. I think I was on with him a few times. So we did a
season. Yeah, we did a season overview. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been able. I went on for a Star Wars thing too, just to shoot the shit.
I'm sorry. On Thursdays, I think it's 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We do Stargate SG-1.
That's right. I know
you're doing a breakdown.
Nice.
And I'm always looking for more people too. So if anyone's interested in Stargate,
what sucks is a lot of stuff you do, Mike, that I don't have enough knowledge that I feel like I can add anything.
True, yeah.
But I mean, if
it's on my channel, so if you'd like to be notified when I do stuff, please go below and hit the OBG 70 button. Yeah. And I'm on Twitter, bitten_8. So if you want to DM me, I'm always happy to invite you on and get some new co-hosts, because I would like to expand my panels.
Pips, is our Twitter working yet, or are we trusting Alex to work on that?
We're trusting Alex.
I'm already following. I'm following. I'm the only follower, but it's working. So Trip, we'll.
I also added Dane as a friend on Discord just now. I sent a friend request, so when he sends it back, or because we were talking about doing, he asked me to come on and do that thing before. So Pips, if you want to reach out, I don't even know how to freaking use Discord. God damn it. Yeah, I'm not a Discord person.
Don't worry, you'll get used to it. It's kind of like you'll get kicked off all the other platforms, so you'll.
Well, if you know how to forward my stuff, you could forward the Pips or whatever.
Yeah, once you get kicked off Reddit, then you go to Discord.
Yeah. I use it sparsely, but it's not that bad if you use a little bit. But
when I used to play World of Warcraft, I used to use it just to talk to my guild, but that's it.
Yeah, that's how that was. That's funny. That's my extent of it too. Well, not now.
Leroy Jenkins.
I'm gonna mute your ass. Yeah, you're muted. Trip, we'll sort that out. It's good. It's good. Always good. I mean, it's nice that you guys are on. You're unmuted again. Relax. Jeez, man, such a snowflake over here.
I'm OBG70, number 9478 on the Discord. So add me.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so Trip, we'll figure it out because like it's nice to hear when you're on the rewatch. It's always nice to have a female perspective. We don't unfortunately get a lot of that, at least on camera, at least with us heathens. So it's always good. So we can figure that out. Nobody has to go on camera. It's fine.
No,
It's no big deal. So
Pips and I have got a lot on the rewatch. Just so you know, we're not all
a lot of
glowing
females.
incellers.
I think actually our rewatch guests. I think we're at about 30% of our guests have been.
That's
have been
great.
women.
Yeah, we got Trip, we had Hannah, and we had Aludra.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. How have I not seen those? I gotta brush up on what I. So I guess I got more stuff
yes,
to
you
watch.
do. You've got like 7.
Well, you guys put out so many at
rewatch.
once. It's just like
you,
they all.
you
like,
and all your 1,000 subs need to
shut
go
up,
and come
man.
watch.
You know what? Like five of those 200 are me. All right, so all right. So
hurtful,
thank you,
but
Mike.
also
Thank
The
you,
other
guys.
195 are me.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys, for coming. More to come. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. I'll be obviously doing more Wheel of Time stuff. All these streams tend to stay in Wheel of Time territory, which is fine by me because it's great to talk about. So
Gearing up for season 2.
Yeah, right.
The upshot of it not getting canceled for season 3
it probably
is your channel is going to grow to 20,000. My friend.
I think we're going to see at least this season 3. To be honest, I think
you really think so.
Yeah,
oh,
I think we'll see season 3. I think it'll be canceled before 4, but I think we'll see season 3.
I think we're in for a little.
I don't think I'll live to see season 3 the way this is going.
Definitely 3.
I predicted no season 3 back, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was when they announced it.
I think right after 2 comes out, you'll get the fake critical acclaim, and then season 3 will be renewed, and then 4 is on the fence.
If you just pay attention to the Amazon model, right, where they just need content to put things on their service to be able to advertise that we have all these different shows, right? So I think that they've already invested into seasons 1 and 2. I think that they'll greenlight a season 3 to
this is what I get. This is what I get worried of. If you've studied the history of Hollywood and the history of film prior to the advent of
Mike's being swatted.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
No, not mine. It's not mine.
Oh
no,
that was me.
Oh, Pips always gets a freaking siren going by.
I saw somebody and I saw a guy right
either
past that
beside
window
a police station or a hospital. But I'm not going to.
No, I'm just living that thug life.
There you go. Finish your thought, man. Jeez.
Yeah, there's someone looking in that window too.
Oh so my thought was before the advent of television, if you look at the amount of shit that Hollywood churned out just to produce content for the movie theaters, over and over, I think we're in that realm now. But it's on these streaming services. I think they're not interested in critical content. I think that the studio model obviously came back with the advent of the Marvel films, where you get actors who sign up for film upon film upon film, and it's just extended to everybody and anyone's just flush with cash and looking to produce content, and that's what we've got now. Because quite honestly, there are more films produced between the 40s and the 60s than at any other time in history, and they all fucking suck. They're all terrible. No one they maybe remember 1 out of 1,000 of those films, but they harken back, like that was the golden age of cinema, right? That's when everybody went every other day to go see a movie, and it completely cratered when people got the option to go view it in their home. We've got that now, and it's with streaming services, and maybe they just want to fill it up with content, and they don't really give a shit how terrible it is.
Do you think a company like Amazon and Disney will make bad stuff so they can basically just write it off?
I think they are.
If they're, well, not necessarily, because you do that if you're profitable in other sections, and why would you be unprofitable? Like people who intentionally lose money in order to save on the tax, those are high level retards. They don't understand math if that's their sole motivation. What I ultimately think with these companies is that because money has been so cheap, and because they can just borrow and borrow and borrow, and they don't necessarily care about the bottom line, agenda has elevated above profit.
Well, I asked because
and that's what's going on right here.
And they're able to convince themselves that a loss on the show, but in a way that enhances the company's brand, has sort of countervailing profits that they're getting on other aspects, right?
And I think that
Netflix, Netflix realized, like, oh, never mind, we've been lying to ourselves. Like, that's not actually what's happening.
Netflix doesn't have Amazon Prime, though. They don't have the money coming in the back door, or Disney with everything they do.
And this is where it could be nefarious for Amazon, as I've suggested before, is that the one thing Amazon really fears is a unionization effort among their workforce. And the Twitter crowd that is most likely to agitate for that are the same people who are clapping like barking seals over how wonderful and representative this Amazon Wheel of Time show is. So maybe they're losing money hand over fist on the actual show, but as long as they keep the Twitterati's at bay over union efforts for their distribution centers, they think it's money well spent.
And that chat's asking a great question, though.
Hold on real quick. So Dovey, I want to get this question in because you're a little bit late, so I'm trying to give you some props here. But real quick, I haven't seen the terminal list yet. I'm probably going to throw on an episode after this.
I have my review of that in my Adobe Premiere right now. Waiting.
So I've heard nothing but good things. So
Tips recommends.
Yeah, so I'm going to pop that on, hopefully to at least watch one of them tonight. So I'll check that out. And then you have do you think Amazon is going to put out more Stargate stuff now that they own MGM? What do you think, Mike?
I think they're going to.
I said Mike Pips. Jesus. God.
For once, it wasn't me.
You know what? There. All right.
I personally don't mind. I'm fine.
Mike.
Yes, I do. I do, and I'm really worried because, of course, it's Amazon, so it's going to be crap.
Okay, Pips. What do you think, brother?
No, Mike made a really great point. I think you should call on Mike more often. He's a friggin' genius. That was well articulated, spot on. Mike,
genius. Dude,
Mike, it was perfect.
Mikey, that's not wrong. That's what you need to put is your tag on. It should be OBG70 a friggin' genius. That should be how you introduce yourself now.
I think always right works too.
And does anyone care what I think?
Nope.
Yes, I do.
Moving on. Go ahead, Tate. I'm just fucking with you, man. Go. What do you think?
What I think is Richard Dean Anderson would never come back for this.
Nope.
Thank frickin' God. That guy's based as fuck.
I should start watching them again because I watched all the Stargate SG-1 and I watched part of Atlantis, but I haven't watched. It's been so long, so I always did enjoy those shows. So, but
Universe was good too. I thought I liked Universe.
Yeah,
dear God.
I watched part of Atlantis and SG-1. I liked SG-1. Hey, Atlantis was sort of like.
You guys know where they filmed Stargate SG-1?
Underwater,
Ontario or something.
Canada,
right about there, like through my wall, but like another couple 100 miles that way.
You live in Stargate land, okay? OFK, so fuck.
That's why all those off-worlds all look like Canada.
Leave my Stargate alone. They own MGM. Will anything stay put? Damn it all. I agree. SBL 29, 100%. They just need to leave everything alone at this point.
They're making a live-action Robotech, and I wanted to throw some shit through my monitor screen.
What?
Yep.
Like I'm not even a huge robot. I watched. Oh God. Well, they need to stop. They think they can. They think that's the next frontier, making anime into live action, and it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
It's the other way. We'll turn Wheel of Time into anime.
Well,
that would be awesome.
I know we're trying to finish, but it's like right of the Rohirrim, Lord of the Rings thing. That some of the shit on that looks freaking great. So I'm hoping that is actually, and that's an animated movie. We'll see what happens, but Trip, you don't want more Stargate because they're just going to screw it up.
Yep.
We need about 5 years before they make anything.
Trip speaks the true.
Yeah, my wish is for this. I wish that Wheel of Time got canceled after season 2, and then 10 years, because I won't be dead yet. Hopefully, knock on wood, they redo it.
We need the next Peter Jackson to come along and.
But it's one of those. It's unfortunate that this is
no.
This
no?
is this
No.
is the this is
Okay.
the this is well this is the problem is this is the Wheel of Time for my generation now, and it's gonna take at least one whole generation, maybe two, before it's even considered to be made anything. Well, and that's not completely true, because now I'm thinking about it, they are doing this Age of Legends movie, at least it's rumored. So we'll see what happens with that. Red Eagle has hired somebody to do an Age of Legends movie.
It'd suck.
It's gonna be terrible.
The only hope we have is to drive the market value of this whole intellectual property into the fucking ground, which is what Pips and I are working on.
So White Cliffs can buy it up and make an animated series.
And especially if we get monetized on some of the other videos that we don't have to claim fair use on.
Yes.
So if we get rich doing this, we will buy it for what was our kind of initial ballpark? Like, was it $28 or was it 27?
Well, we'll see how many episodes of Wheel of Prime we get. If they go to episodes, if they go seasons past 3, they're going to start paying you, kind of like, what is it, Warner Brothers? All the DC verse just got they sold the
they sold
studio
CW.
We could get CW rich simply willing to like take it on.
Yeah.
But in essence, the whole plan was basically going to be like, all right, create the market value of this IP, buy it up, and then do it properly. And by that we mean like people have been saying since the 90s, this has to be animated, simply because you do a live action, you have a show that goes on across so many books, but takes place within a time span of like within 2 years. Your actors are going to age up. There's no way to actively do it and do it faithfully. But we've seen a ton of great examples of, maybe not anime or the Japanese style specifically, but Arcane. Right. Arcane was fantastic just from a computer gen animation point of view, but you don't even have to go that way. What I've always personally thought, and maybe I'm spilling the beans here for when I buy this up with my $27, is all these scenes that Robert Jordan sets, right? He's so descriptive over a very long paragraph of how it should look. Do a very detailed and faithful watercolor or type of scene setting of what that should look like. And rather than be very active and moving around with animation, just do like, that's your background, and have your characters act in that scene and potentially act in that scene for a very, very long time. That's what I think, right? It's not animation. It's not, a painting. It's somewhere in the middle. And I think that would do justice. And this is just me spitballing here.
Yeah.
But if I really wanted to adapt the Wheel of Time and do it as faithful as I could, that's what I'd be honing on. He spent ages and ages and ages detailing everything down to the minutia. So do that and focus on that and let that linger for a long period of time so people can absorb that visually as you would as a reader.
Okay.
That's just
your vision. The vision of Dane.
Is that you, Pips?
That was my
Has to be.
That was my butt cheeks rubbing together. All right. With that, fellas, is all right. Well, thank you all for coming.
You guys are dicks.
Yes.
I agree. It would have worked as a
the anime
Chuck
thing.
Dixon. Yeah, Chuck Dixon would have been
just
good
yeah.
job.
I think we mentioned that earlier. Yes, I think it would, and it still would work as an anime. I think that Stormlight Archive should be anime. Maybe even Mistborn if they do it. But that's a whole nother conversation, and we have been going at this for a while. Thank you guys again for coming. Dovey,
congrats,
thanks for showing up. Thank you very much.
Yes, congrats on 1,000.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
monetized.
I appreciate you all coming. We're going to be doing this more often, hopefully, and I appreciate you all. Chat, thank you. Anybody that left a super chat, I am overwhelmed with the generosity today. Thank you so much.
Very cool.
And we will, do this again. See you soon. And as they say, all hail the Lord Dragon, and we'll see you guys in the next stream, video, whatever.
Hail.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.